What I'm about to share may surprise you, perhaps even shock you. But let me tell you this. If you are watching this video right now, it's not by accident. The universe, guided by divine orchestration, has brought you here for a reason. God is preparing something extraordinary for you. Your life is about to change forever, and soon you will experience a level of financial freedom and abundance that you've only dreamed of. Yes, you heard that right. Money will flow to you like water, effortlessly and abundantly. This isn't just about financial gain. It's about a total transformation, spiritual, emotional, and energetic. The very breakthroughs you've been praying for, waiting for, and perhaps even doubting at times are no longer distant possibilities. They are becoming your reality right now. Before we dive into this life-changing message, I want you to pause this video and take 3 simple steps. First, hit that like button. Second, subscribe to this channel to help us reach 30,000 subscribers. Third, leave a comment with the number 99. Why? Because this number symbolizes the completion of a divine cycle, and it sends a powerful signal to the universe, amplifying the energy of this message. If you are truly one of the chosen ones, you'll watch this video until the very end, because deep down, your spirit already knows this message is meant for you. Those who are not ready to receive this truth might not make it to the end, but for those who do, your life will never be the same. Now, let's get into it. Imagine standing at the threshold of a great breakthrough. You've endured countless hardships, sacrificed more than most, and worked tirelessly to build a better future. And now, you are on the cusp of something extraordinary. Your struggles are about to transform into blessings, and your scarcity is about to be replaced by overflow. But this breakthrough isn't just about material wealth. No, it's much deeper than that. It's about an abundance of peace, joy, and opportunities that will leave you in awe. The universe has been aligning every detail of your life to ensure that you receive all that you've worked so hard for. Every setback, every delay, every closed door was preparing you for this moment. When this breakthrough comes, it will feel like a floodgate opening. Opportunities, blessings, and resources will pour into your life like a river that's finally found its course. But remember, the universe works in divine timing. The trials you've endured weren't there to punish you. They were there to prepare you. Without them, you wouldn't have the strength, wisdom, or resilience to handle what's coming. It's easy to reflect on your past and feel the weight of the pain you've endured. The sleepless nights that stretched endlessly, the heartbreaks that left you questioning your strength, and the moments when giving up seemed like the only option. At the time, those struggles may have felt overwhelming, even unbearable, and you might have wondered why life seemed so difficult. But here's a powerful truth. Every single one of those challenges was necessary. Each trial was a lesson, a stepping stone, preparing you for something far greater than you could imagine. Without them, you wouldn't be the person you are today. Think of a diamond. It begins as a simple piece of carbon, but under intense heat and pressure, it transforms into something brilliant, valuable, and indestructible. Without that pressure, it would remain just an ordinary lump of coal. Your journey mirrors this transformation. The struggles you faced didn't come to destroy you. They came to refine you, to shape you into someone strong, resilient, and capable of embracing the abundance and opportunities that are now on the horizon. Every tear you shed, every moment of doubt, and every setback was building something within you: wisdom, endurance, and a deeper understanding of life. The sleepless nights taught you resilience. The heartbreaks opened your heart to greater compassion and understanding. The moments of despair strengthened your resolve and forced you to dig deeper, to find a strength within yourself that you didn't even know existed. These experiences have prepared you, not just to survive, but to thrive. Now, as you stand at the edge of a new chapter, know that you are ready. The foundation has been laid. Those painful moments have been transformed into the strength and wisdom you need to step fully into your purpose. This is your time to reap the harvest of everything you've sown through your perseverance. The trials were not the end. They were the preparation. What lies ahead is a reward, far greater than the struggles you've endured. Your journey was never in vain, and now the fruits of your growth are about to unfold in ways that will take your breath away. You may not see it all right now, but trust this. There is a divine blueprint for your life. Every experience you've had, every person you've encountered, and every challenge you've faced has been part of a carefully orchestrated plan. Nothing you've been through is random or without purpose. The moments of joy, the seasons of struggle, and the quiet in-betweens all serve as pieces of a puzzle that is now beginning to take shape. Right now, you are entering a pivotal phase in your life where this divine plan will unfold in ways more beautiful and more extraordinary than you can imagine. The wealth that's coming your way is not just material. It's holistic, encompassing every facet of your being. This wealth is your divine birthright, a manifestation of the life of abundance you were always meant to live. It's more than money. It's the richness of meaningful relationships that uplift and inspire you. It's the gift of endless opportunities that align with your deepest passions. It's the quiet, unshakable peace that comes from living a life of purpose and fulfillment. This abundance doesn't just touch your finances. It enhances your spiritual growth, your emotional well-being, and your sense of connection to the world around you. When you align yourself with this divine plan, everything begins to fall into place. Your struggles and triumphs, your unique talents and dreams, they all converge into a singular path that leads you toward the life you were designed to live. Your gifts are not random. They were given to you for a reason. Your passions are not mere interests. They are clues guiding you toward your destiny. These are the tools you will use to manifest a life that reflects the true essence of who you are and what you are capable of achieving. The beauty of this alignment is that it feels effortless. Instead of forcing things to happen, you'll find doors opening where you once saw walls. Opportunities will appear that perfectly match your skills and desires. Relationships will blossom that nurture your spirit and propel you forward. When you trust in the divine plan and embrace the abundance waiting for you, you step into the life you've always been destined to live. A life where every aspect of your being thrives. I know it's hard to trust when life has thrown so many challenges your way. When you've spent years struggling, fighting battles no one else sees, and enduring a reality of scarcity, trusting in abundance can feel almost impossible. It's easy to wonder if things will ever change, to feel that the universe has forgotten you. But let me tell you something powerful. Even when it doesn't seem like it, the universe is always working behind the scenes, aligning every detail of your life to bring you exactly what you need, exactly when you need it. Financial abundance is not a question of if, but when. Every setback, every rejection, every delay you've experienced was not a punishment. It was preparation. Think of the detours you've taken not as obstacles, but as alternate routes carefully designed to lead you to something even greater. The universe knows your needs, your desires, and your dreams intimately. It knows the exact timing required for you to receive those blessings fully and sustainably. Sometimes the delays are there to build your strength, to help you grow, or to ensure that you're ready to handle the incredible abundance waiting for you. Your role in this divine process is simple yet profound. Trust, have patience, and remain open. Trust that everything is unfolding as it should, even when you can't see the full picture. Patience doesn't mean passivity. It means staying grounded in the belief that what's meant for you will find its way to you. And openness means letting go of doubts and fears so you can receive the blessings that are already making their way into your life. One day soon, you'll look back and realize that every challenge was a lesson in disguise. Every delay was a blessing wrapped in patience. You'll see how the seemingly disconnected pieces of your journey fit together perfectly, forming a picture more beautiful than you could have imagined. The universe doesn't make mistakes. Trust in the process, trust in the timing, and trust in the abundance that's destined to flow into your life. You are closer to your breakthrough than you think, so hold on and stay ready for the blessings to come. Patience is one of the most powerful tools you have on your journey to success. It's not just about waiting, it's about trusting that everything is unfolding in perfect alignment with divine timing. Even when you can't see progress on the surface, know that the seeds of your dreams are taking root and growing beneath the soil. Think of a seed. It doesn't sprout the moment it's planted. It takes time, care, sunlight, water, and the right conditions to grow into a strong and beautiful plant. The process can't be rushed, and neither can your journey to abundance. Your prosperity works the same way. The dreams and goals you've nurtured are growing, maturing, and evolving, even if you can't see the full picture yet. Every moment of waiting isn't wasted. It's a vital part of the process. It's in these moments that you are being prepared, strengthened, and refined for the incredible blessings that are coming your way. When the time is right, your efforts will bear fruit in ways that exceed your expectations, blossoming into a life of abundance, joy, and fulfillment. Patience requires faith. It asks you to trust that everything is happening as it should, even when progress feels slow or non-existent. It's about staying grounded and refusing to let doubt or fear take root in your heart. Each passing day, even in the waiting, is moving you closer to the abundance you've dreamed of. Keep nurturing your goals, stay resilient in your faith, and trust in the process. Remember, the best is yet to come, and the life you're building will be worth every moment of patience and perseverance. Imagine a life where money flows to you effortlessly, like water running through a clear, endless stream. Gone are the days of worry about bills, debts, or financial limitations. Instead, you live in a state of ease, knowing that financial freedom is not just possible, it's your reality. This isn't some far-off dream, it's the new chapter you're stepping into, a chapter where abundance and prosperity are your everyday companions. Financial freedom doesn't mean reckless spending or indulgence without purpose. It means living with peace of mind, unburdened by the constant stress of making ends meet. It's about having the resources to enjoy life fully while staying grounded in gratitude and wisdom. Picture yourself walking through life with confidence, knowing that you have the means to meet your needs and fulfill your desires, whether it's traveling the world, experiencing cultures you've always dreamed of, or giving generously to causes close to your heart. Financial freedom empowers you to live boldly and joyfully. Now, imagine the home you've always envisioned, a place of comfort, beauty, and safety that reflects the life you've worked so hard to create. Visualize waking up every morning without the weight of financial stress, free to focus on what truly matters, your passions, your loved ones, and your purpose. This isn't a fantasy. This is the reality waiting for you. It's a life where money is no longer a source of fear, but a tool for creating joy, sharing abundance, and building a legacy. This is the freedom you've been destined to experience, and it's closer than you think. The stream of abundance is flowing. Step into it with confidence. To fully embrace the wealth that is already destined for you, it's crucial to align yourself with it on every level: mind, heart, and soul. This means letting go of limiting beliefs that have held you back. Beliefs like, money is hard to come by, or success isn't meant for me. These thoughts are barriers to abundance, blocking the flow of prosperity that is trying to reach you. Instead, replace them with empowering affirmations such as, money flows to me effortlessly, I attract wealth with ease, and I am worthy of unlimited success. By shifting your mindset, you create a fertile ground for abundance to take root and grow. Visualization is another powerful tool for alignment. Take a moment to picture the life you desire. See it vividly in your mind, the home of your dreams, filled with warmth and beauty. Imagine yourself driving the car you've always wanted, feeling the freedom of the open road. Picture yourself traveling to breathtaking destinations, immersing yourself in new cultures and experiences. Envision the joy of giving back, contributing to causes that touch your heart, and knowing you're making a difference in the world. The clearer and more detailed your vision, the stronger its pull becomes, aligning your energy with the reality you wish to create. Alignment is about more than thoughts. It's about embodying the energy of abundance in your actions and attitudes. Act as though you're already living the life you envision. Practice gratitude for what you have and what's on its way. When your mindset, energy, and actions are in harmony, abundance begins to manifest faster than you could imagine. Trust in the process. Let go of doubts and watch as the wealth you've always dreamed of flows naturally into your life. You are not here by accident. You are here for a reason, chosen and guided by a divine purpose that is leading you toward unstoppable success. Every challenge, every setback, every moment of doubt has been part of your preparation for this moment. The road has not been easy, but it has been worth it. Each step you've taken, no matter how small, has been building the foundation for the life of abundance that is now within your reach. Now is your time to shine. The abundance you've been waiting for is no longer a distant dream. It's rushing toward you. Trust in divine timing, even when it feels like nothing is happening. The universe has been working tirelessly behind the scenes, aligning every piece of your journey so that your blessings arrive exactly when you are ready to receive them. Align yourself with this flow, open your heart to the possibilities, and embrace the wealth, joy, and opportunities that are already yours. Chosen ones, the future is bright. What lies ahead is more extraordinary than anything you've imagined. Your life is about to transform in ways that will leave you in awe. Believe it, receive it, and step boldly into the reality you were born to live. Thank you for allowing this message to speak into your heart. If it has inspired you, don't keep it to yourself. Help us spread this light by hitting the like button and sharing this video with someone who needs encouragement. Make sure to subscribe to our channel and join this community of chosen ones as we step into a new era of purpose, abundance, and unstoppable success. Your best days are not behind you. They are ahead of you. Your life will never be the same again. If you're watching this right now, it's no accident. God has led you here for a reason. Deep in your heart, you may feel that something in your life is off balance, that despite your prayers, hopes, and waiting, the breakthrough hasn't come. But today, God is speaking directly to you. He sees what you're going through. He knows your struggles, your silent battles, and the burdens you've carried for far too long. This is more than just about your actions. It's about your mindset, your energy, and the choices you make each day. Something you're holding on to is blocking the blessings God has prepared for you. Are you ready to listen? Before we dive deeper, pause for a moment. Let this message settle in your spirit. If you feel led, take a second to like this video, subscribe, and comment 99 below. This isn't for me. It's a powerful step in declaring that you're ready to receive the transformation God has for you. If you're truly a chosen one, your spirit knows this message is for you. Stay with me until the end, and I promise, your life will never be the same. Let's dive into what God is saying to you today. Do you feel it? That quiet, persistent whisper deep in your soul? That's not your imagination, it's your divine calling. It's been nudging you, sometimes softly, other times urgently, pushing you towards something greater. But here's the truth. Many of us ignore this calling. We become lost in the noise of everyday life, distracted by temporary pleasures, comfort zones, and the expectations of others. But make no mistake, God has placed a specific purpose in your heart, a mission that only you can fulfill. Every time you turn away from this calling, you rob yourself of the life of fulfillment, joy, and peace that God designed for you. Worse yet, you withhold the unique light within you that is meant to shine brightly in the world. It's time to stop running. Every moment you delay is a moment lost, a missed opportunity to align with your higher self and walk the path God has laid out for you. The universe is ready for you to awaken, but first, you must stop resisting the flow God has already set in motion. God knows you're ready. He's been shaping you, refining you, preparing you for this very moment. The choice is now yours. Will you continue turning away, or will you step boldly into your destiny? God sees the immense power within you. The energy you hold isn't just for survival. It's a divine force capable of building or destroying, depending on how you choose to channel it. Yet far too often, this divine energy is wasted. We pour it into fleeting pleasures, mindless distractions, and temptations that seem satisfying for a moment, but leave us spiritually drained and empty. We chase after temporary comforts, thinking they will ease the deeper longing in our souls. But these are illusions, empty promises that divert us from our true purpose. But listen closely to what God is speaking over your life today. This energy is not meant to be squandered. It's meant to fuel your spiritual growth, to power your divine mission, and to strengthen your bond with God. Redirecting your energy isn't about suppressing your desires or denying yourself joy. It's about mastering this sacred force, understanding its true purpose, and using it to build a life that honors God and aligns with His will. Every moment you spend practicing self-discipline, every prayer you lift up, every act of service you offer to others, it all matters. These are not small sacrifices. They are powerful investments in your divine future. God sees every effort you make, even the ones no one else notices. He honors your commitment, your struggles, and your dedication to walk the sacred path He designed for you. When you choose to redirect your energy, something extraordinary happens. You break free from living at the mercy of your impulses. You begin to live with intentionality, clarity, and divine focus. The distractions that once controlled you lose their grip, and you step into a place of strength and purpose. Understand this. God's plan for your life is far greater than any temptation or distraction you face. His purpose for you is deeper, richer, and more fulfilling than anything this world can offer. Trust in His process. Trust in His perfect timing. And as you surrender to His will and master the energy within you, watch how your life begins to transform in ways you could never have imagined. Chosen one. Your sexual energy is one of the most sacred and powerful gifts God has entrusted to you. It is not a burden or something to be ashamed of. It is a divine force designed to fuel creation, inspire greatness, and ignite your spiritual awakening. This energy is deeply connected to your very essence, woven into the fabric of who you are. God placed it within you as a bridge between the physical and the spiritual, the seen and the unseen. It is meant to empower you, to drive you toward fulfilling your divine purpose. But in a world consumed by instant gratification and fleeting pleasures, this sacred energy is often misunderstood and misused. Too often it is drained by meaningless pursuits, unhealthy relationships, and temporary desires that leave the soul feeling empty and disconnected. When misdirected, this powerful energy scatters your focus, clouds your mind, and weakens your spirit. It distracts you from the higher calling God has placed on your life, pulling you further away from your true path. Yet, when honored and redirected, this same energy can unlock unimaginable potential within you. It becomes a wellspring of creativity, fueling ideas, dreams, and actions that align with your divine mission. It deepens your spiritual connection with God, sharpening your clarity and strengthening your purpose. This is not about suppressing or denying your natural desires. It's about mastering them, guiding them with wisdom and intention towards something far greater than momentary satisfaction. God is calling you to rise above the noise of the world and protect this sacred force within you. He is inviting you to channel your energy into spiritual growth, divine creativity, and meaningful action. Every moment of self-discipline, every choice to honor this gift, brings you closer to the life God has destined for you. Do not squander this divine energy on things that do not serve your soul. Embrace it, honor it, transform it. Allow it to become the fuel that drives you toward your higher calling. When you align this energy with God's purpose for your life, you will experience a transformation so profound that your spirit will awaken to new levels of peace, clarity, and divine power. In a world that glorifies instant gratification and confuses self-indulgence with freedom, the path of celibacy is often misunderstood and dismissed. Society portrays it as a denial of pleasure, a restriction on personal freedom, or an outdated practice with no relevance in modern life. But for the chosen ones, those called to a higher purpose, celibacy is far from a limitation. It is a sacred strategy for spiritual elevation, empowerment, and divine alignment. Choosing celibacy is not about rejecting your humanity or suppressing your God-given desires. It is about mastering them. It is a conscious and courageous decision to redirect your most powerful energy, the creative, life-giving force within you, toward fulfilling your divine mission. This is a path of intentional living, where every action, every thought, and every moment is aligned with spiritual growth and deeper communion with God. By choosing celibacy, you are creating space for God to move mightily in your life. You are making room for clarity, wisdom, creativity, and divine guidance. The distractions that once clouded your mind begin to fade, and in their place, God plants visions, purpose, and unshakable peace. This practice refines your spirit, sharpens your focus, and strengthens your soul in ways that indulgence never could. God deeply honors those who walk this sacred path. Every act of self-control, every moment of resisting temptation, is not a loss, it is a victory. It is a bold declaration that you are ready to rise to the next level of your calling. Mastery over your desires doesn't weaken you, it empowers you. It becomes the foundation for divine creativity, unbreakable faith, and a profound sense of peace that the world cannot offer. Understand this. Discipline is not punishment. It is divine preparation. God is shaping you into the person who can handle the weight of the blessings and the mission He has prepared for you. When you choose celibacy, you are not sacrificing joy. You are gaining spiritual strength, clarity, and alignment with your true purpose. You are stepping into a life of deeper fulfillment, divine power, and unshakable peace. This is your moment to embrace discipline, to rise above worldly distractions, and to walk boldly on the sacred path God has prepared for you. You are not losing anything. You are gaining everything. Too often we find ourselves caught in the endless pursuit of approval from others. We chase recognition, praise, and validation, hoping it will fill the emptiness within us. We measure our worth by the opinions of friends, family, social media, and even strangers, thinking their approval will finally make us feel whole. But this search is exhausting and unfulfilling because no human approval can satisfy the deep longing in our souls. The truth is, God's approval is the only validation you will ever need. When you rely on external validation, you unknowingly hand over your power. You allow others to define your worth, your identity, and even your purpose. Their opinions become a mirror in which you try to find yourself, but that mirror is often cracked and distorted. You begin to shrink, to conform, to hide parts of yourself just to be accepted. But chosen one, hear this. God has already called you worthy. His love for you is not based on your performance, your popularity, or your achievements. His approval is unconditional, unwavering, and eternal. God knew you before you were formed in your mother's womb. He crafted you with intention and designed you for a divine purpose that no one else can fulfill. You don't need to earn His love. You don't need to prove your worth. In God's eyes, you are already enough. Every gift, every talent, and even every flaw has been woven together to serve His greater plan for your life. It's time to stop seeking validation from the world and start living in alignment with God's purpose for you. Stop letting the opinions of others dictate your path. Stop shrinking to fit into spaces God never intended for you. You don't need anyone else's approval to step into your greatness. You are already chosen, already equipped, and already loved. Walk boldly in the truth of who God created you to be. Let His voice be louder than the noise of the world. The moment you stop chasing validation and start embracing God's purpose, you will experience a freedom and peace that no human approval could ever offer. Here's a powerful spiritual truth that many overlook. God has gifted you with the divine ability to transmute energy. This means you have the power to take any form of energy, whether it's sexual desire, anger, fear, frustration, anxiety, or even deep pain, and transform it into a force for good. This isn't just a lofty idea. It is a spiritual reality and one of the greatest tools God has placed within you. This ability is your spiritual superpower, designed to lift you beyond your struggles and align you with your divine purpose. Imagine this. What if the very struggles that once held you back could become the very fuel that propels you forward? What if your pain could be turned into purpose, your fear into unwavering faith, and your distractions into laser-sharp divine focus? That is the power of energy transmutation. Every negative emotion, every setback, and every temptation can be redirected and transformed into something powerful, creative, and life-changing. Transmutation is not about denying your feelings or suppressing your struggles. It's about rising above lower energies and consciously channeling them into creativity, service, love, and spiritual growth. It's about taking the raw, untamed energy within you and refining it into a divine force that brings glory to God and fulfillment to your soul. God has already equipped you with everything you need to master this divine skill. He has placed within you the strength, resilience, and wisdom to take what was meant to harm you and turn it into momentum toward your higher calling. This is how you break free from the cycles of stagnation, temptation, and fear. This is how you rise above the limitations of the flesh and walk fully in the Spirit. Chosen one. When you learn to transmute energy, you unlock a level of spiritual power that makes you unstoppable. You begin to live with purpose, clarity, and passion, fully aligned with God's will for your life. The pain, the struggles, the desires, they all become tools in your hands, shaping you into the person God destined you to be. Embrace this divine power within you. Let it transform your life and guide you into the fullness of your calling. You are not a victim of your emotions or circumstances. You are a vessel of divine strength, created to rise and become a powerful force for good in this world. Chosen one, this is your moment. God has been preparing you for this very season. Every obstacle, every delay, every unanswered prayer has been part of His divine process. But now the time for waiting is over. It's time to stop running from your calling. Stop wasting your precious energy on things that drain your spirit. Stop seeking validation from the world. Redirect your energy. Embrace divine discipline. Transform your pain into purpose. God has already equipped you with everything you need to fulfill your destiny. The doors are ready to open, but you must take the first step. Don't let fear hold you back any longer. Don't let distractions steal your focus. Don't let doubt silence your purpose. Step boldly into the life God has prepared for you. Trust His plan. Surrender your fears. Walk in faith. Because once you do, your life will never be the same. Chosen one. The world is waiting for the light only you can bring. God knows what you're capable of. Now it's time for you to believe it too. Have you ever wondered why your life seems to draw so much attention? Why every move you make feels like it's being scrutinized, questioned, and sometimes even opposed? This is not a coincidence. You are not just existing, you are living with a divine purpose so powerful that it naturally attracts both curiosity and envy. This isn't something to fear, it's confirmation of the calling on your life. Your light stirs something deep in others, compelling them to seek answers, and sometimes that search leads them to a truth they never expected. Before we dive deeper into this transformative story, let's take a moment to honor you, our incredible audience. Your unwavering support keeps this message alive. If you've ever felt inspired by these truths, comment 99 below as a sign of faith and divine completeness. And to those who have contributed through super thanks, your generosity is more than appreciated. It's a divine seed sown to uplift countless souls. Now imagine this. Someone hires a private investigator to uncover your flaws, confident that they will expose your weaknesses. But as they dig deeper, they don't find what they expected. Instead, they discover something extraordinary, a light so radiant and undeniable that it transforms them. They thought they were exposing you, but they became witnesses to the divine purpose guiding your life. The private investigator took on the assignment with absolute confidence, fully believing it would be a straightforward task. To them, it was routine, a job like any other. They assumed they would quickly uncover secrets, hidden flaws, or past mistakes that could be exploited and used against you. They expected to peel back the layers of your life and find something incriminating, something ordinary, something human. After all, no one is perfect. And surely, they thought, you couldn't be either. This belief filled them with certainty and made their mission seem effortless. But as they began their investigation, something unexpected happened. The deeper they dug into your life, the more their certainty began to crumble. What they encountered was far from what they anticipated. There were no dark secrets, no hidden scandals, no vulnerabilities to expose. Instead, they found something they couldn't explain, a radiant strength that seemed to grow stronger with every discovery they made. It was as if every piece of your life they examined only led them closer to a divine truth they were utterly unprepared to face. Your spiritual resilience was undeniable. Your authenticity, so pure and unshakable, stood as a solid foundation that no accusation could fracture. Your unwavering purpose shone brightly, a beacon of light that could not be dimmed. These qualities weren't ordinary. They were evidence of something far greater than human strength. It became clear that your life was not just a series of events, but a carefully woven narrative guided by a higher power. Each chapter they tried to dissect only revealed a deeper layer of grace, purpose, and divine protection. They began to realize they were not just investigating a person. They were confronting the undeniable hand of God over your life. Like staring directly into the sun, they were blinded by the brilliance of your divine calling. The energy they sought to dismantle wasn't something fragile or fleeting. It was rooted in something eternal, a divine force that cannot be measured, contained, or destroyed. This wasn't simply an investigation anymore. It had become a direct confrontation with God's unshakable plan for your life. Their mission was doomed from the very beginning, not because they were incompetent or careless, but because they were up against something far beyond their understanding. Psalm 27:1 says, "The Lord is my light and my salvation. Whom shall I fear?" That light within you didn't just illuminate, it overwhelmed the darkness, leaving no room for the shadows they hoped to exploit. They expected to find skeletons in your closet, but instead, they stumbled upon profound truths that shattered their expectations. The more they searched for weaknesses, the more they encountered a divine strength that was untouchable. Every attempt to undermine you only led them deeper into the realization that your life is wrapped in divine favor. They couldn't understand it, and they certainly couldn't fight it. The very energy they aimed to dismantle was beyond their reach. It was a spiritual force, a divine presence that silences every attack and renders every scheme powerless. What they intended to be your downfall became their awakening. They were no longer just investigators. They had become unwilling witnesses to the undeniable power of God's purpose in your life. Think of Joseph in Genesis 37. His story is one of betrayal, suffering, and ultimately, divine elevation. Joseph was favored by his father Jacob and gifted with a richly ornamented coat, symbolizing his unique place in the family. But it was not the coat alone that stirred envy in his brothers. It was the dreams God placed in Joseph's heart, dreams of leadership, of greatness, of divine purpose. His brothers, consumed by jealousy, couldn't stand the thought of Joseph rising above them. Their envy sharpened into resentment, and resentment hardened into action. In their bitterness, they conspired against him. They stripped him of his coat, the outward symbol of favor, and sold him into slavery, believing they had erased the advantage God had given him. They thought they had silenced him, buried his dreams, and destroyed his future. Yet, what they didn't realize was that their betrayal became the very path God used to elevate Joseph. Joseph's journey was not easy. He was sold into slavery, falsely accused, and imprisoned. But through every trial, God's hand was upon him. Every setback was a setup for something greater. In the depths of his suffering, Joseph developed wisdom, strength, and resilience that prepared him for leadership. Eventually, he rose to become the second most powerful man in Egypt, and when famine struck the land, it was Joseph's position that allowed him to save countless lives, including the very brothers who had betrayed him. Years later, those same brothers bowed before Joseph, unaware of who he was. When they finally realized his identity, they feared retribution. But Joseph, filled with divine understanding, spoke words that resonate through time. "You intended to harm me, but God intended it for good to accomplish what is now being done, the saving of many lives." Now reflect on your own life. Perhaps someone close to you has conspired against you. Someone who once stood beside you but could not bear to witness your growth. Maybe their jealousy turned into resentment, and their resentment into action, much like Joseph's brothers. They may have orchestrated an investigation into your life, hoping to uncover flaws or mistakes, believing they could tarnish your reputation or halt your progress. But they failed to understand that the favor on your life cannot be erased by human schemes. What they meant for harm is already being transformed for your good. Their attempts to tear you down have become the very stepping stones God is using to elevate you. Every scheme against you is now part of a larger plan, a divine design that is positioning you for something far greater than you could imagine. Just as Joseph's trials prepared him for leadership, your challenges are refining you for your divine purpose. Every betrayal, every false accusation, every attempt to undermine you is being woven into God's perfect plan. Your adversaries have unknowingly become instruments in the process of your elevation. Remember this: no human action can override God's intention for your life. Their schemes are powerless against His divine purpose. What they plotted in secret will only serve to highlight the strength, grace, and favor God has placed upon you. Like Joseph, you are being prepared for a position of influence and impact, and in time, those who sought to harm you will see the fullness of God's plan revealed. Stand firm in this truth. Their actions cannot stop what God has ordained. Let their attempts to harm you be a confirmation of your calling. Every step they take against you is only pushing you closer to your divine destiny. Reflect on the story of Daniel in Daniel 6, a powerful example of how unwavering faith can turn plots of destruction into platforms for God's glory. Daniel was a man of integrity, wisdom, and deep devotion to God. His faithfulness earned him favor with King Darius, who planned to elevate Daniel to a position of great authority over the entire kingdom. But this favor sparked jealousy among the other officials and administrators. They could not tolerate Daniel's rise and sought to bring him down. Driven by envy, these men conspired against Daniel. They scrutinized his life, searching for any flaw or mistake that could discredit him. Yet, they found nothing. Daniel was blameless in his duties and faultless in his character. Frustrated, they realized that the only way to trap him was through his faith in God. So they devised a deceptive plan, convincing King Darius to sign a decree that prohibited anyone from praying to any god or human other than the king for 30 days. The punishment for disobedience was severe, being thrown into a den of lions. Daniel, aware of this decree, remained steadfast. He did not hide or waver. He continued to pray openly, just as he had always done, demonstrating his unshakable trust in God. Daniel's enemies thought they had won. They believed their scheme would lead to his destruction, but they greatly underestimated the power of the God Daniel served. Thrown into the lion's den, Daniel should have been devoured. Yet God sent his angel to shut the mouths of the lions, and Daniel emerged unharmed. His faith didn't just protect him, it magnified God's glory. Now reflect on your own life. Just like Daniel, you may have people who plot against you, hoping to expose your weaknesses or undermine your progress. They examine your life, searching for faults to exploit, but find nothing substantial. Frustrated, they target your character, your values, and your divine purpose. They think their schemes can derail your destiny, but they cannot. Every attack against you has only highlighted the strength of your foundation. Their attempts to discredit you have revealed not weakness, but resilience. Their accusations have crumbled under the weight of your authenticity and the undeniable favor of God on your life. Isaiah 54:17 declares, "No weapon formed against you shall prosper." This is more than just scripture. It is the living reality of your existence. The weapons formed against you may be sharp and intentional, but they are powerless against God's protection. Like Daniel, your faith and unwavering trust in God have turned every trap set for your downfall into a stage for His glory. Those who have conspired against you will witness your rise. Their own schemes will collapse, and the very attacks meant to harm you will become testimonies of God's faithfulness in your life. Your enemies will stand speechless, unable to comprehend how every obstacle they placed before you became a stepping stone toward your divine elevation. No scheme, no slander, no strategy formed against you can succeed. Like Daniel, you are covered by God's unbreakable protection. Your steadfast faith is your greatest defense, and God will continue to use every attempt against you to reveal His glory. Imagine the investigator, once so confident in their mission, slowly realizing that their assignment was far more than uncovering flaws. It was an intrusion into something sacred. What they believed would be a simple task of exposing weakness turned into something deeply unsettling. Every file they opened, every detail they scrutinized, didn't reveal failure but instead echoed with undeniable divine purpose. With each discovery, the investigator began to sense the weight of what they were truly confronting. The pieces of your life didn't form a narrative of mistakes, but a tapestry of resilience, grace, and unwavering faith. The more they searched, the more they saw life intricately woven by God's hand. Their task, once clear, now felt like a violation of something holy. The deeper they went, the heavier the burden of guilt became. They began questioning their motives, recognizing the cracks in their own character. Their mission no longer made sense. They were no longer just investigating you. They were being forced to confront their own insecurities, their own moral failures. Like the Pharisees in John 8:7, who brought a woman before Jesus to be condemned and were met with His piercing words, "Let any one of you who is without sin be the first to throw a stone." The investigator faced a truth they couldn't ignore. Just as those accusers slowly walked away, unable to justify their judgment, the investigators' pursuit unraveled. Their mission crumbled under the weight of divine truth. What was meant to harm you only exposed their own flaws, leaving them defeated not by force, but by the undeniable presence of God in your life. But the most profound and undeniable moment came when the investigator followed the evidence to its true source, the very people who had hired them. What began as a mission to uncover your flaws slowly unraveled into a trail of deceit, manipulation, and hidden agendas. The shadows they pursued did not surround you. Instead, they led straight back to the ones operating behind the scenes. The true darkness wasn't in your life, but in the hearts of those who orchestrated the entire scheme. Proverbs 26:27 says, "Whoever digs a pit will fall into it. If someone rolls a stone, it will roll back on them." This scripture came to life as their carefully crafted plot collapsed in on itself. The traps they set for you became snares for their own feet. Every lie they spun, every scheme they devised, recoiled with devastating force. What they intended as a weapon against you became the very tool of their downfall. This is the essence of God's divine reversal. It wasn't through confrontation or retaliation that their plans were destroyed. It was through the sovereign hand of God. Every attempt to discredit you became a platform for your vindication. Their deceit exposed only their own guilt, and their power crumbled beneath the weight of truth. God turned their evil intentions into undeniable proof of His favor and protection over your life. What they meant for harm has been transformed into evidence of your divine calling. Their failure was not accidental. It was inevitable, for no scheme can stand against the will of God. Chosen one. What will you do now with this truth? Will you let their failed attempts distract you, or will you stand firm in your calling? Isaiah 41:10 reminds you, "Do not fear, for I am with you. Do not be dismayed, for I am your God. I will strengthen you and help you. I will uphold you with my righteous right hand. Walk boldly." Your life is not ordinary, it's a divine testimony. Their schemes have only confirmed what God has already declared over you. Every attempt to break you has only made you stronger. Let their failure be your confirmation. You are chosen. You are shielded. You are unshakable. So stand tall, chosen one. The world may scrutinize you, but they cannot comprehend the power within you. You are a reflection of God's glory, a living, breathing testament to His divine purpose. If this message has stirred something within you, comment 99 below as a sign of faith and divine completeness. Like and share this message so others can step into their calling. May God continue to protect you, guide you, and elevate you beyond every scheme. You are chosen. You are unstoppable. You are destined for greatness. Amen. Today, we embark on a journey of profound exploration into a transformation many chosen ones are experiencing in this very moment, the second spiritual awakening. Have you felt an undeniable stirring within your soul recently? A quiet yet persistent sense that a new chapter of consciousness is dawning? This is no ordinary change. It is a divine metamorphosis, a sacred calling to rise to an entirely new level of spiritual evolution. If the first awakening was like opening your spiritual eyes for the very first time, then the second awakening is akin to gaining high-definition clarity. It is as if a black and white world suddenly bursts into vibrant color, unveiling the true nuances and vibrations of reality. This extraordinary transformation allows you to see not just with your eyes, but with your heart and soul. It's a deeper, more profound awakening that elevates your existence beyond what you ever imagined. Let us dive into the essence of this sacred transformation and uncover the signs that indicate you are walking the divine path of the second awakening. While the first awakening marked the beginning of your spiritual journey, a liberation from the illusions of a purely material existence, the second awakening takes this journey to unimaginable heights. During the first awakening, you may have questioned your reality, peeled back the layers of societal conditioning, and recognized the presence of something infinitely greater than yourself. It was a pivotal moment of realization, a gateway to your spiritual essence. However, the second awakening transcends even this. It is not just an awareness, but a complete transformation of how you experience and interact with reality. Every thought becomes a creative force, every emotion a divine tool for growth, and every action an intentional act of manifesting your higher self. It is as if the universe is whispering directly to your soul, guiding you toward the ultimate alignment with your divine purpose. This awakening brings with it a heightened consciousness, a new lens through which you perceive the world. It reveals that everything is connected, that your thoughts, emotions, and actions ripple outward to shape not only your reality, but the collective reality of the world. Let us uncover the sacred signs that indicate your soul is undergoing this profound shift. These signs are not mere coincidences, but divine confirmations that God is working within you, calling you to a higher purpose. Number 1. Perception of vibrational frequencies. The second awakening begins subtly yet profoundly, often with an enhanced sensitivity to the unseen vibrational energies that weave through existence. It feels as though an invisible veil has been lifted, unveiling a deeper reality that was always present, but never fully perceived. You become acutely aware of the energetic currents that surround and flow through you, as if every thought, every intention, is charged with a magnetic frequency capable of shaping the very fabric of your reality. What once seemed fleeting and abstract now feels tangible, resonant, and alive. This heightened awareness transforms your inner world, becoming a compass that steers your choices and relationships. You naturally begin to distance yourself from the people, environments, and activities that drain or clash with your newfound vibration. It's not a conscious rejection but an organic shift, a quiet, intuitive knowing that these aspects no longer serve your growth. Superficial connections and shallow interactions fade into the background, replaced by the profound magnetism of alignment. In their place, deeper and more meaningful connections emerge, almost effortlessly. These new bonds feel destined, as if they are extensions of your soul's purpose, drawn together by the invisible strings of shared resonance. Every encounter, every interaction, becomes imbued with significance, reflecting the clarity of your inner state. Through this process, you begin to embody a harmonious balance, shedding the energies that no longer belong and embracing those that uplift and expand your spirit. The second awakening is not merely a moment of revelation, it is a journey of becoming, a return to your authentic self, where every vibration and thought flows in harmony with the greater symphony of the universe. In this state, you feel empowered, aligned, and deeply connected to the infinite possibilities of creation. Number 2. Dissolution of the ego. Perhaps the most profound and challenging aspect of the second awakening is the dissolution of the ego. This process is not a gentle unraveling, but often feels like the shattering of an identity you once held dear. The ego, built on the scaffolding of appearances, possessions, achievements, and societal labels, begins to lose its grip as the illusion of its permanence fades. For so long, it defined who you thought you were, shaping your desires, fears, and relationships. But as your awareness deepens, you come to a startling realization. Your true essence lies far beyond the confines of what you own, how you appear, or how others perceive you. This awakening can feel like an existential crisis. The frameworks you once trusted, your beliefs, values, and the structures of the world around you begin to crumble. What seemed solid now feels hollow, leaving you questioning everything. The loss of this false sense of self can be disorienting, even frightening, as it forces you to confront the emptiness left behind. But within this deconstruction lies an unparalleled opportunity for liberation. The ego does not dissolve quietly. It resists fiercely. It manifests as fear, doubt, or a desperate clinging to the old ways of being. You might feel the pull to retreat into familiar patterns, to rebuild the illusion of control. Yet, each step forward, however small, leads you closer to a divine truth that transcends the ego's limitations. It is a journey of surrender, of letting go of the need to define yourself through external means and embracing the infinite light within. With time, the fear gives way to peace, and the doubts dissolve into clarity. What emerges is a profound connection to your authentic self, a version of you that is unbound, limitless, and aligned with the divine essence of the universe. In shedding the ego, you do not lose yourself. You finally come home to who you truly are. Number 3. Awakening to interconnectedness. Another profound hallmark of the second awakening is the realization of the interconnectedness of all things. It is as if a deeper layer of reality is revealed, where you perceive the invisible threads that weave together every being, every action, and every emotion into a grand, unified tapestry. This awareness dissolves the illusion of separateness, showing you that no thought, word, or deed exists in isolation. Suddenly, the barriers between self and other blur, and you feel a deep kinship with all life, a shared essence that flows through everything. This realization inspires profound empathy and compassion. You begin to understand that to serve others is not merely an act of kindness. It is an act of self-love, for in lifting others, you lift yourself. This unity consciousness shifts your focus from individual gain to collective well-being. The old ways of striving for personal success, recognition, or material wealth begin to feel hollow, replaced by a yearning to contribute meaningfully to the greater whole. As this perspective takes root, you may feel an undeniable calling to realign your life. Your career, relationships, and goals come under scrutiny as you seek to ensure they reflect your higher purpose. Choices once guided by ambition or convenience are now infused with intention, aimed at serving the interconnected web of existence. Even the simplest activities, whether preparing a meal, helping a stranger, or tending to the earth, take on a sacred significance, for you begin to see their place in the divine plan. This unity consciousness does not diminish your individuality. Instead, it expands it. You become a unique note in the symphony of creation, harmonizing with the greater whole. In recognizing the oneness of all things, you unlock a deeper, more fulfilling way of living, one where love, purpose, and connection become the foundation of your existence. Number 4. Intense emotional release. The second awakening often brings with it the unlocking of long-repressed emotions, allowing them to rise to the surface in their raw, unfiltered form. These emotions, grief, joy, love, anger, or even fear, can emerge unexpectedly, like powerful waves washing over you. Their intensity may feel overwhelming at first, as if the dam of your heart has burst open. But these emotional releases are not random. They are sacred. They are the soul's way of cleansing itself, purging the old, stagnant energies that have weighed you down for so long. Each release, though challenging, is an act of healing. The grief you feel might be for parts of yourself you've lost along the way, or for dreams you had to let go of. The joy might arise from the rediscovery of your inner light. And the love, the profound, unshakable love, may remind you of your connection to the divine. These emotions are not there to punish or burden you. They are there to liberate you. They create space within your soul, making room for divine light, peace, and clarity to flow freely. As you allow these feelings to surface and move through you, you'll notice a shift within. The heaviness that once clung to you begins to dissipate. You become lighter, freer, and more attuned to the flow of divine energy coursing through your being. This process is not linear, nor is it always easy. Some days will feel like a flood, others like a calm stream. But with each wave that comes and goes, you are stepping closer to wholeness. Through this journey of emotional release, you gain not only healing, but also wisdom. You learn to honor your feelings as sacred messengers, guiding you toward deeper alignment with your true self. In this way, the second awakening transforms you from within, revealing a heart that beats in harmony with the divine. Number 5. A deepened intuition. As the second awakening unfolds, your intuition blossoms into a powerful and reliable guide, a direct line to divine wisdom that feels both profound and natural. What was once dismissed as a vague gut feeling now emerges with striking clarity, a voice of inner knowing that cuts through the noise of doubt and confusion. This intuition is not something new you have learned. Rather, it is an ancient gift you're remembering, a sacred faculty that awakens as you align with your true essence. Each intuitive insight feels like a revelation, as if a veil has been lifted to reveal a hidden truth. These moments of clarity illuminate your path with an unmistakable certainty, steering you toward choices and opportunities that resonate with your higher purpose. Whether it's a gentle nudge to follow an unexpected direction, a sudden understanding of a complex situation, or an unshakable sense of what is right for you, this guidance feels deeply rooted in wisdom beyond the limits of the mind. What sets this intuition apart is the trust it evokes. You come to rely on it not as a fleeting feeling, but as the voice of the divine within you. It bypasses logic and reason, speaking directly to your soul in a language that is unmistakable and undeniable. With each step forward, your faith in this guidance deepens. You find yourself making decisions with ease and confidence, knowing they are aligned with your highest good. This reconnection to your intuition transforms your perspective on life. Challenges no longer feel like random obstacles but opportunities for growth revealed through inner wisdom. The chaos of uncertainty is replaced by a sense of flow and alignment. As you embrace this sacred gift, you realize that the answers you seek have always been within you, waiting for this moment of awakening to be heard. The journey of the second awakening is as transformative as it is challenging. It is not a smooth or linear path, but one that requires courage, resilience, and unwavering faith. The ego, fearing its dissolution, clings tightly to its familiar ways. Old patterns and limiting beliefs, deeply ingrained in your psyche, may resurface with renewed intensity. Moments of doubt and confusion may arise, making you question whether you are truly progressing. Yet, these trials are not obstacles to deter you. They are sacred opportunities for growth, placed on your path to refine and elevate your soul. Every challenge you face holds a profound purpose. When you confront fear and choose love instead, you transcend the limitations of the ego. When you release the weight of the past, be it regrets, pain, or attachments, you make space for divine light to enter. And when you step into the unknown with faith and trust, you open the door to possibilities far beyond what you could have imagined. Each step, no matter how small, carries you closer to your authentic self and raises your consciousness to new heights. The rewards of this journey are boundless and deeply fulfilling. You will discover a profound inner peace, one that is unshaken by external circumstances. This peace becomes the foundation of your life, radiating outward in waves of love, compassion, and purpose. Your transformation will inspire others, encouraging them to embark on their own spiritual journeys, not through words, but by the example of your being. Most importantly, this journey leads you to reconnect with your divine essence, the eternal truth of who you are. You come to realize that you are not your fears, your achievements, or your failures. You are a limitless soul, a spark of the divine, here to shine your light and fulfill your sacred purpose. This is the ultimate gift of the second awakening, a homecoming to your truest self. The second awakening is not the culmination of your spiritual journey, but rather the commencement of a profound new chapter. It serves as a sacred invitation to live as a radiant beacon of light in the world, embodying the boundless love and infinite wisdom of the divine in every moment of your existence. As you walk this enlightened path, you will come to realize that your very presence has the power to transform the lives of those around you. Your energy becomes a catalyst for positive change, inspiring others to seek their own inner light. Remember, this journey is uniquely yours. There is no singular path to the second awakening. It unfolds organically, guided by the rhythm of your soul and the whispers of the universe. Each individual's experience is a personal tapestry woven from their own insights, challenges, and revelations. Trust the process wholeheartedly, embracing the transformations that arise with an open heart and mind. Know that you are being divinely supported every step of the way, even when the path ahead seems unclear. As you delve deeper into this new chapter, you will find that your connection to the divine strengthens. Your intuition sharpens, your compassion deepens, and your understanding of the interconnectedness of all things becomes more profound. Activities that once seemed ordinary take on new meaning as you perceive their role in the grand tapestry of existence. Your life becomes a living expression of divine love and wisdom, touching others in ways you may never fully realize. Embrace this journey with courage and grace, for it is a path of continuous growth and endless possibilities. Trust in the divine timing of your awakening, and allow yourself to flow with the natural currents of your soul's evolution. You are not alone. The universe conspires with you, offering guidance, synchronicities, and signs to illuminate your way. By embracing the changes and trusting in the divine support that surrounds you, you align yourself with your highest purpose and unlock the limitless potential within. If these signs resonate with you, it is a sacred confirmation that you are being called to fulfill a greater mission. This is your moment to step into your power and embrace the divine purpose that awaits you. Declare your readiness for the second awakening by affirming, "I am ready to awaken to my highest self." Let this declaration be the first step in a journey of limitless love, radiant light, and a profound connection to the divine. As you embrace this transformation, May your light shine brightly for the world, inspiring and illuminating the path for others to follow. You are a chosen one, uniquely equipped to bring hope, healing, and compassion to a world that deeply needs it. The world is waiting for your radiance, now more than ever. Thank you for taking the time to join us on this sacred journey. Your presence here means everything, and we are honored to be part of your awakening. If this message has inspired or uplifted you, we invite you to subscribe to our channel and become part of a community dedicated to spreading love and light. By subscribing, you ensure you won't miss the next steps of this beautiful journey. Hello, dear friends. Today, I want to speak to you about a topic that deeply resonates with many of us: isolation. Have you ever felt alone, as if you've been distanced from the people, places, or situations that once felt like the core of your life? Maybe it seems like doors are closing, that invitations no longer come your way, or that you've suddenly become invisible to the world around you. If this is something you're experiencing, I want to assure you that you are not forgotten. Instead, you are being chosen. When God isolates someone, it is not to destroy, but to transform. He does not hide his chosen ones without purpose. Isolation is often a divine setup for a greater revelation, a sign that something extraordinary is on the horizon. It is a time of preparation, protection, and empowerment. In today's message, we will journey together to uncover the 7 reasons why God isolates the chosen. If you have felt distant, unseen, or even rejected, know that this journey has a purpose. God is working within you, shaping your character, and preparing you for the extraordinary mission He has set before you. Each of us has a unique calling, and isolation is often a necessary part of the process. Before we dive in, I encourage you to subscribe to this channel. This way, you won't miss any of the inspiring messages we share here, all designed to encourage and uplift your faith journey. Now let's embark on this powerful exploration of why God chooses to isolate those He has called. Number 1. God isolates to protect you. Often we desire to be in places that seem good, to be part of groups, or to connect with people we admire. However, what we cannot see, God sees. His vision is infinitely broader and deeper. He knows the intentions of every heart and understands the hidden dangers beneath the surface. Sometimes God removes us from environments that appear harmless or even attractive, but are, in reality, harmful to our spiritual, emotional, or mental well-being. This divine distancing is not rejection but protection. God's isolation shields us from relationships, opportunities, and influences that could derail our faith or damage our purpose. Not everyone who enters your life has good intentions. Some may seem kind but carry hidden motives, planting seeds of doubt, insecurity, or distraction. In His wisdom, God may distance you from such people to safeguard your calling. It can feel painful when relationships end, or when you're no longer included, but trust that God is working behind the scenes for your good. During this time, reflect on what truly matters. Use it as an opportunity to draw closer to God and to strengthen your discernment. By moving away from unhealthy connections, you create space for divine appointments, relationships, and opportunities that align with God's will. Number 2. God isolates to prepare you for greater things. Every chosen person in the Bible underwent a period of preparation before stepping into their God-ordained calling. Much like a seed must be buried in the darkness of the soil before it can sprout and flourish, you too may find yourself in a hidden season. This time of obscurity is not a punishment, but a necessary step in God's process of preparing you for the great purpose that lies ahead. Take the story of David. His triumph over Goliath may have been a defining moment, but it was far from the end of his journey. David didn't ascend to the throne immediately after his victory. Instead, he entered a long season of hardship and isolation. He spent years fleeing from King Saul, wandering through the wilderness, and leading a band of distressed, indebted, and discontented men. This group of societal outcasts, under David's guidance, became a loyal and courageous army. This period of isolation and adversity was not wasted. It was in these trials that God shaped David into the king he was destined to become. He developed the patience, resilience, and leadership skills necessary to shepherd an entire nation. David's time in the wilderness taught him to trust God deeply, rely on his timing, and lead with compassion and wisdom. Similarly, your season of isolation has a purpose. It is a time of pruning and refining, a process where God removes what no longer serves you and builds in you the character, strength, and faith required for your mission. This preparation is intentional, ensuring you are equipped to carry the weight of your calling. Promotion in God's kingdom is never rushed. He is deliberate and precise, ensuring His chosen ones are thoroughly prepared for the responsibilities ahead. So if you find yourself in a hidden season, take heart. Your isolation is not wasted. It is God's way of preparing you for something extraordinary, shaping you into the person He has called you to be. Trust the process, for when the time comes, you will be ready to step into your purpose. Number 3. God isolates to empower you. Isolation often brings challenges that test your limits, but within these trials lies an extraordinary opportunity for growth and empowerment. It is in solitude, when the distractions are stripped away, that you begin to uncover strengths, abilities, and qualities you never realized you had. These challenges are not meant to break you. They are designed by God to build you into the person He has called you to be. The story of David exemplifies how isolation can prepare you for greatness. Before he became king, David spent years on the run, hiding from King Saul in the wilderness. During this time, he gathered a group of men who were societal outcasts, discontented, in debt, and considered rejects by others. Yet, through David's leadership, these men transformed into a loyal and courageous army. This process was not easy. It required David to develop patience, resilience, and the ability to see beyond people's flaws, understanding their struggles and guiding them with compassion. Through isolation, David learned to rely on God completely, to trust His timing, and to lead with wisdom and humility. These lessons shaped him into a king after God's own heart, capable of uniting and shepherding an entire nation. Your challenges in isolation are similarly purposeful. They are a refining process, strengthening your faith, teaching you patience, and building your dependence on God. When you emerge from this season, you will not only carry a deeper understanding of who you are, but also a clearer vision of the unique calling God has placed on your life. Trust that the trials of isolation are preparing you for something far greater. They are shaping you into a person equipped with the character, strength, and faith necessary to fulfill God's extraordinary plans for your future. This is not the end. It is your preparation for what's to come. Number 4. God isolates to teach you. Dependence on Him. Isolation has a unique way of stripping away the distractions that so often clutter our lives, leaving us with one constant and unshakable source of comfort and guidance: God Himself. Far from being a punishment, isolation is an invitation to draw closer to Him, to lean on His presence, and to deepen your reliance on His wisdom and love. The story of Elijah beautifully illustrates this truth. After a dramatic showdown with the prophets of Baal, Elijah found himself fleeing into the wilderness, overcome by fear and discouragement in the face of Jezebel's threats. Alone and despondent, he prayed to God, even wishing for his life to end. Yet it was in this very moment of solitude that God met Elijah in a profound and personal way. God did not appear to Elijah in the wind, the earthquake, or the fire. He came in a gentle whisper. In that quiet moment, free from the chaos and distractions of the world, Elijah encountered the heart of God. This gentle interaction restored his strength, renewed his purpose, and prepared him to continue his mission. Your own season of isolation can be just as transformative. In the stillness, away from the noise of daily life, you have a unique opportunity to hear God's voice more clearly. It is in these quiet moments that your relationship with Him can deepen, your faith can grow stronger, and your purpose can become more defined. Do not resist this time of solitude. Instead, embrace it as a sacred season of spiritual renewal. Use it to seek God's presence, to listen for His whisper, and to allow His love and guidance to fill every corner of your heart. In the quiet, you will find strength, clarity, and the unmistakable peace that only God can provide. Number 5. God isolates to refine your character. God often uses isolation as a sacred tool to shape our hearts and refine our character. Just as gold is purified in the fire to remove impurities, isolation serves as a spiritual furnace, burning away the things that hinder our growth: pride, impatience, fear, and even self-reliance. Through this process, God replaces these flaws with virtues like humility, resilience, and a deeper trust in His plans. The story of Joseph is a powerful example of this refining process. Betrayed by his own brothers, sold into slavery, and wrongfully imprisoned, Joseph endured years of painful isolation. Yet, each trial he faced was a stepping stone in God's larger plan. In his time of solitude, Joseph was being prepared for greatness. He learned to trust God in the most challenging circumstances, to forgive those who wronged him, and to steward his gifts with wisdom and integrity. These qualities were essential for the monumental responsibility of governing Egypt and saving countless lives during a famine. Your trials are not random or meaningless. They are intentional moments in God's divine process of refining you. Isolation can feel lonely and unfair, but it is in these seasons that God does His deepest work within you. He is shaping your character, preparing your heart, and building the strength you will need to fulfill your purpose. Trust in this process, even when the purpose isn't clear. Just as Joseph's years of hardship positioned him for a life-changing elevation, your season of isolation is setting the stage for something far greater than you can imagine. Let God's refining fire mold you into the person He has called you to be, for His plans are always good, and His timing is always perfect. Number 6. God isolates to test and strengthen your faith. Isolation can be one of the most challenging experiences in life, often feeling like abandonment. Yet it is important to understand that these moments are not signs of God's absence, but rather opportunities for a deeper test of faith. The question arises, will you trust God even when you feel unseen, forgotten, or alone? Jesus Himself faced this in one of the most profound ways during His 40 days in the wilderness. Isolated and vulnerable, He was tempted by the devil, who sought to exploit His physical hunger and solitude. Yet Jesus did not falter. Instead, He leaned on the power of prayer and the truth of Scripture to overcome each temptation. His reliance on God during this period of isolation not only defeated the enemy, but also prepared Him for the ministry that lay ahead. Through this time of solitude, Jesus was strengthened spiritually, mentally, and emotionally to fulfill His mission of saving humanity. Your faith is much like a muscle. It only grows stronger when it is tested and stretched. In isolation, when circumstances feel bleak and answers seem distant, you are given the chance to trust God in ways that deepen your dependence on Him. This resistance, though uncomfortable, builds spiritual strength and prepares you for greater challenges ahead. Isolation is not a punishment, but a divine appointment, a sacred time where God works within you to strengthen your faith, sharpen your focus, and refine your purpose. It is in these moments that you learn to cling to God's promises, even when everything around you suggests otherwise. Trust in His presence and His plan, for the wilderness is never the end of the story. It is where faith is fortified and victories are won. Number 7. God isolates to elevate you. Finally, God isolates His chosen ones because elevation often requires intentional and thorough preparation. Before revealing someone to the world, God works on them in private, away from the distractions and noise of public life. This hidden season is where He refines their character, builds their faith, and equips them with the wisdom and resilience needed to fulfill their calling. Consider the story of Joseph. a young man who endured years of isolation and hardship before his destiny was fulfilled. Betrayed by his brothers, sold into slavery, and wrongfully imprisoned, Joseph could have easily believed his life had no purpose. Yet God was working behind the scenes, preparing him for a position of unparalleled influence. From the depths of a prison cell, Joseph was suddenly elevated to become the governor of Egypt, second only to Pharaoh. This remarkable transformation was not a coincidence, but a divine plan that unfolded at the perfect time. When God decides to elevate his chosen ones, no force on earth or in heaven can stop it. The season of isolation you may be experiencing is not a sign of failure or rejection. It is evidence that God is setting the stage for something extraordinary in your life. In this time of hiddenness, trust that He is orchestrating every detail for your ultimate good and His glory. Your isolation is not the end of your story. It is the beginning of something far greater than you can imagine. When the time is right, God will reveal you to the world in a way that leaves no doubt about His power and faithfulness. Until that moment, embrace the preparation, for it is shaping you into the person God has called you to be. From Moses to Paul, the Bible is filled with stories of isolation that led to greatness. Moses spent 40 years in the wilderness before leading Israel out of Egypt. Paul withdrew to the Arabian desert after his conversion, using the time to deepen his understanding of the gospel. Even Jesus withdrew to solitary places to pray and prepare for his mission. Each of these examples reminds us that isolation is a season of preparation, not punishment. It is an opportunity to grow, to learn, and to draw closer to God. If this message resonates with you, I invite you to declare with faith, "I am chosen." By doing so, you are affirming that God is at work in your life, even in moments of solitude. Share this message with others who may be in a season of isolation. Let them know that they too are chosen and that God is preparing them for something extraordinary. Remember, isolation is not the end. It is the beginning of a divine revelation. Trust the process. Lean into God's presence and prepare your heart for the greatness that lies ahead. The best is yet to come. Chosen ones, what I am about to share may surprise, even shock you. If you are watching this video right now, it is not by coincidence. You have been divinely guided here because something extraordinary is happening in your life. This is a pivotal moment, a threshold where the essence of who you are is shifting. You are no longer merely human. Yes, you heard me right. The limitations of human existence are falling away, and you are awakening to the truth of your divine nature. This transformation is more than a mindset shift. It is a profound spiritual and energetic awakening. As a chosen one, your life is beginning to unfold in ways that will leave you awestruck. But to fully align with this divine shift and step into your highest potential, you must first understand what is happening within you. Before we embark on this life-changing journey together, I invite you to pause this video, hit the like button, subscribe, and leave the number 11 in the comments below. This act is more than symbolic. It sends a powerful signal to the universe, amplifying the energy of this message. If you are truly a chosen one, you will feel an undeniable pull to watch this message until the very end. For those who persevere, your life will never be the same. Let us begin. Imagine for a moment that the world you know, the tangible reality you see, hear, and touch, is only a fraction of existence. What if beyond this physical realm lies an infinite expanse of truths, energies, and dimensions your human mind can scarcely comprehend? This is not a dream or a fantasy, but an invitation to awaken to a deeper reality. It is the call of your soul, a whisper from the depths of your being, urging you to break free from the limitations of human perception. It beckons you to step beyond the mundane and into the infinite. Everyday life is filled with distractions, the noise of responsibilities, the chatter of doubt, and the hum of fear. These are the barriers that keep many from hearing the call. Yet, deep within, a yearning persists. It is a longing for something greater, a faint but steady pull toward a truth that transcends the physical world. You may have felt it in moments of stillness, when time seems to pause and a quiet knowing stirs within you. This is not your imagination. It is your soul awakening, guiding you to remember your divine nature. The illusions of separation, struggle, and fear that have defined your life are beginning to dissolve. These are constructs of a limited perspective, designed to confine you within the boundaries of human understanding. But you were never meant to be confined. You are not merely a human being striving to survive. You are a divine being, eternally connected to the infinite tapestry of existence. Your essence is limitless, your soul unbound by the constraints of time and space. This awakening is not about discovering something new. It is about uncovering the truth of who you have always been. Your soul is ancient, carrying within it the wisdom of lifetimes. It has journeyed through eons, gathering experiences and lessons that now culminate in this moment. The call you hear is not unfamiliar. It is a memory, an echo of your soul's eternal nature. It reminds you of your divine essence, your power, and your purpose. The time has come to answer this call, to step out of the shadows of doubt and into the light of understanding. The path before you is not random. It has been carefully woven by the divine. To rise into the fullness of your potential, you must trust this journey. Embrace the truth that you are more than your circumstances, more than your fears, and more than your earthly identity. You are a divine being awakening to your purpose, ready to step boldly into the extraordinary life you were always meant to live. For far too long, humanity has been shackled by illusions of fear, separation, and unworthiness. As a chosen one, you are being called to break free from these chains. Every doubt, every fear, and every perceived limitation you have ever known is an illusion. They are constructs of a limited consciousness designed to keep you small. But you were never meant to stay small. You were meant to shine with the brilliance of the divine. Your essence is limitless, expansive, and eternal. The beliefs that once held you captive are now dissolving, and in their place, a new understanding is emerging. An understanding that you are the creator of your reality. You are not defined by your past, your circumstances, or the labels the world has placed upon you. To transcend the limits of the human condition, you must first shift your perception. See through the veil of illusions and recognize the boundless potential within you. When you align with your divine nature, you become a vessel for universal energy, a co-creator with the infinite. The power to manifest your dreams, to create a reality that reflects your highest self, lies within you. All that is required is your willingness to embrace this truth. One of the most profound realizations that arises during this transformation is the understanding that separation is an illusion. For so long, the belief that you are an isolated being, detached from others, the earth, and the divine, has shaped the human experience. This falsehood has fostered fear, competition, and a sense of disconnection. Yet, as you awaken, this illusion begins to crumble, and in its place, a deeper, more profound truth emerges. Everything is interconnected. The same divine spark that flows through you flows through every person, every creature, and every corner of creation. You are not apart from the universe. You are a living, breathing expression of it. This oneness is not just a spiritual concept, but a fundamental truth of existence. It means that every thought you think, every word you speak, and every action you take sends ripples across the vast web of life, influencing the world in ways you cannot always see but can deeply feel. As you embrace this interconnectedness, your perception shifts. You begin to see others not as separate beings, but as reflections of the same divine essence within you. Compassion flows more freely, judgment fades, and a profound sense of unity takes its place. This realization also expands your understanding of your own power. You are not just an individual navigating life. You are a co-creator, a part of the cosmic dance, with the potential to heal, uplift, and transform the world around you. Living in alignment with this oneness is a call to embody love, authenticity, and harmony with all of life. It is an invitation to move beyond the limitations of the ego and into the expansive truth of your divine nature, where you and all of creation exist as one. As you move through this awakening, the walls that once defined your identity begin to crumble. You start to see beyond the labels, roles, and stories that have shaped your human experience. You are not your name, your profession, or even your history. These are temporary expressions of your higher self. Your true essence is beyond form, beyond time, beyond any earthly construct. You are a being of light, an eternal expression of the divine. To awaken to this truth is not to lose yourself, but to find yourself. To reconnect with the infinite possibilities that have always been within you. The dissolution of identity is a liberation, a shedding of the layers that no longer serve you. In this state of freedom, you begin to live with a sense of purpose and connection, guided by the quiet observer within you, the eternal part of you that watches life unfold without attachment or judgment. This observer is your anchor, your connection to higher consciousness, and your guide as you navigate this transformation. As a chosen one, you are not a passive observer in the unfolding of life. You are a creator, a divine architect of your own reality. The power to manifest your deepest desires and fulfill your highest purpose resides within you. This power is not given to you from outside sources. It is your birthright, an innate force that has always been a part of your being. Your thoughts, intentions, and actions are far more than fleeting moments or random occurrences. They are the building blocks of the world you experience. Manifestation is not about wishful thinking or idle daydreams. It is a deliberate process of aligning with the energy of creation itself. It requires you to step into a state of clarity, focus, and love, attuning your inner world to the reality you wish to create. When you approach life with a sense of purpose and intentionality, the universe responds in kind, weaving your desires into the fabric of existence. This is the law of creation. Like attracts like, and what you focus on expands. Your role as a creator begins with your thoughts. Every idea you entertain carries energy, shaping the frequency you emit into the world. Positive, empowered thoughts draw similar energies, paving the way for abundance, joy, and opportunity. Conversely, negative or limiting beliefs can manifest obstacles and challenges, reflecting the energy of fear or doubt. As a chosen one, your journey is to cultivate a mindset rooted in love, gratitude, and possibility, ensuring that your thoughts align with the reality you wish to experience. Intentions amplify this creative process. When you set clear and purposeful intentions, you send a powerful signal to the universe, declaring your readiness to receive. Intentions are the seeds of manifestation, guiding your energy and focus toward your desired outcomes. They act as a blueprint, shaping the way the universe arranges circumstances and opportunities to align with your goals. Action is the bridge between intention and reality. Manifestation is not a passive process. It requires you to take inspired steps that align with your vision. These actions need not be grand or overwhelming. Often, small, consistent efforts made with faith and determination can create profound results. When your actions are aligned with your higher self and driven by love and clarity, they become powerful catalysts for transformation. Living as a creator means recognizing that you are not separate from the universe, you are a part of it. The same divine energy that flows through the cosmos flows through you. When you embrace this truth, you step into a state of flow, where creation becomes effortless and natural. In this state, you are not chasing after your dreams. You are attracting them, drawing into your life the people, experiences, and opportunities that resonate with your highest good. Within you lies a profound and dynamic interplay of energies, the divine masculine and the divine feminine. These energies are not opposing forces but complementary aspects of your being, each playing a vital role in your spiritual journey. When balanced and integrated, They create a harmonious whole that is greater than the sum of its parts. Together, they form the foundation of your creative power and the essence of your divine nature. The divine masculine is the energy of action, strength, and structure. It is the force that propels you forward, turning dreams into reality and ideas into tangible form. This energy represents clarity, determination, and the ability to create order from chaos. The divine masculine is the builder, the protector, and the catalyst for progress. It is the strength within you that rises to meet challenges, the discipline that sustains your efforts, and the focus that drives you toward your goals. On the other hand, the divine feminine is the energy of intuition, nurturing, and flow. It is the essence of creativity, compassion, and connection. This energy guides you to listen to the whispers of your soul, to trust the wisdom of your heart, and to embrace the beauty of stillness. The divine feminine is the dreamer, the healer, and the source of endless possibilities. It is the nurturing force that allows ideas to grow, the empathy that fosters connection, and the surrender that invites miracles into your life. As a chosen one, your journey is to honor and integrate these energies within yourself. This sacred union is not about choosing one over the other or suppressing either aspect. It is about recognizing their equal importance and allowing them to work in harmony. When the divine masculine and feminine energies are balanced, they bring you into alignment with your highest self. The masculine provides the structure and drive to bring visions to life, while the feminine offers the insight and sensitivity to ensure those creations are meaningful and aligned with your soul's purpose. This balance brings not only inner peace but also profound power. It allows you to manifest with wisdom and purpose, uniting the logic of the mind with the wisdom of the heart. The masculine energy ensures you take decisive action, while the feminine energy ensures those actions are guided by intuition and love. Together, they empower you to live a life of authenticity, creativity, and fulfillment. To cultivate this balance, you must first become aware of these energies within you. Observe when one energy may be overemphasized or suppressed, and take steps to nurture the other. Embrace practices that honor both aspects, such as meditation to connect with your intuition, and focused action to bring your visions to life. Trust that by integrating these energies, you are stepping into the fullness of your divine potential. In this sacred union lies your true power, the ability to live a life of balance, harmony, and purposeful creation. This is your journey as a chosen one, to embody the strength of the divine masculine and the grace of the divine feminine, creating a life that is both powerful and beautiful. The journey of awakening is not one of struggle or force. It is a journey of surrender, a profound act of trust in the divine flow of the universe. Surrender does not mean giving up or resigning yourself to circumstances. Rather, it is the conscious decision to let go of resistance and control, allowing the natural rhythm of life to guide you. It is an act of faith, a recognition that the universe is always conspiring in your favor, even when the path ahead seems uncertain. To live in grace is to live in a state of alignment with this divine flow. Grace is not something you earn or achieve. It is your natural state when you release the burdens of fear and doubt. It is the quiet assurance that everything is unfolding as it should, that the universe has a plan far greater and more intricate than your mind could ever conceive. In this state, you are free. Free from the need to manipulate outcomes, free from the grip of anxiety, and free to simply be. When you embrace grace, you step into a life of ease and flow. The struggles that once weighed you down begin to dissolve, not because the challenges disappear, but because your perspective shifts. You begin to see life's obstacles as opportunities for growth rather than barriers to your happiness. Each moment, no matter how small, becomes a gift to be cherished, a chance to experience the beauty and wonder of existence. Surrendering to grace also means embracing the present moment with gratitude and love. So often, we are caught up in the what-ifs of the future or the regrets of the past, missing the profound peace that lies in the now. Grace invites you to pause, to breathe, and to recognize the perfection of this moment. It teaches you that there is no need to push or force life to conform to your expectations because the divine plan is already in motion. As you live in grace, miracles begin to unfold, not because you demanded them, but because you created the space for them. By releasing fear and resistance, you open yourself to infinite possibilities, allowing the universe to work through you and for you. You become a vessel for divine energy, effortlessly attracting the experiences, people, and opportunities that align with your highest good. To live in grace is to live in harmony with the universe, to trust that you are always supported and guided. It is a journey of surrender, not struggle, a journey that leads to profound peace, joy, and fulfillment. When you align with grace, you discover the freedom of flowing with life rather than against it, embracing each moment with an open heart and the unshakable knowing that all is well. You are living in a time of unprecedented transformation. As the chosen ones, you are not merely participants in this change. You are leaders, beacons of light, guiding humanity into a new dawn. This is not a distant future. It is happening now. Each step you take toward your divine potential shapes the collective reality of the world. The call to awaken is not just for you, it is for all of humanity. By embodying your divine nature, you inspire others to do the same, creating a ripple effect of love, unity, and transformation. The time to step into your power is now. The world is waiting for you to rise, to shine, and to create a reality that reflects the boundless light within you. Chosen ones, this is your moment. Embrace it with open arms, knowing that the universe is conspiring in your favor. You are the light in the darkness, the hope in despair, and the love that will heal the world. The future is limitless, and it begins with you. Thank you for being here, for answering the call, and for stepping into your power. If this message resonates with you, please don't forget to like this video, subscribe to our channel, and share it with others who may need to hear this. Your support helps us reach more souls and spread this light across the world. Let's walk this path of awakening together. Remember, you are never alone. The universe is with you, always. They tested your blood. Yes, you heard that right. They examined it in their laboratories, questioned it, and tried to comprehend the incredible power coursing through your veins. But the results left them in shock, and you in triumph. The truth? You are not ordinary. You are chosen. This energy within you, this divine force, is destined to change the world. They cannot stop your ascension because you exist beyond their understanding. Are you ready to embrace this truth? If so, let your voice be heard. Write 77 in the comments to declare your power and your chosenness. Remember, this is only the beginning. For too long, they believed they could shape your world, manipulate your reality, and define your worth. But now, the truth is dawning on them. Their supposed strength was nothing more than a shadow cast by your light, a borrowed confidence masking their dependence on you. Without your energy, their fragile house of cards collapses, leaving them scrambling in the ruins of their own illusions. The fragility of borrowed strength. Those who once sought control over you often wore the guise of strength and charm, projecting an image of confidence and authority. Their demeanor was carefully curated to inspire trust, portraying them as steadfast and reliable. Yet beneath this polished exterior lay a fragile ego, desperate for validation, a need they cunningly sought to fulfill through you. They were masters of subtle manipulation, planting seeds of self-doubt during your most vulnerable moments. Their calculated words twisted reality, reframing their domination as care, their interference as concern, and their silence as punishment, cultivating a cycle of emotional dependence that left you questioning your own worth. These individuals thrived in environments where harmony was valued over confrontation, exploiting your empathy and kindness as tools to maintain their control. They knew the language of guilt and gratitude, wielding it to secure their position. Each act of giving on your part was met with a carefully constructed response designed to keep you unaware of the power imbalance. They became the constant takers, feeding on your willingness to sacrifice, while ensuring you remained blind to their true intentions. But every cycle has its breaking point. The moment you chose to reclaim your narrative, the cracks in their control began to show. Perhaps it was a single quiet act, a firm boundary drawn where there had been none, a refusal to bend to their expectations, or an unapologetic decision to prioritize your well-being. That seemingly small step set off a chain reaction that unraveled their carefully constructed facade. The illusion of their strength, so dependent on your acquiescence, began to crumble. With each act of self-assertion, the equilibrium they relied upon tipped irreversibly out of their favor. The foundation of their dominance, built on your energy and compliance, started to falter. Suddenly, the rules of their game no longer applied. The power dynamic shifted, exposing the fragility they had long hidden behind their confident exterior. What they once took for granted, the quiet support, the endless understanding, the unspoken sacrifices, was no longer theirs to control. Your decision to prioritize yourself was not just an act of defiance, but a declaration of worth. It was a reclamation of your energy and autonomy, a statement that you would no longer be a passive participant in a narrative they dictated. As their influence waned, they were forced to confront a reality they had long avoided. Their strength was never their own, and without you, the carefully balanced facade they had constructed could not stand. Their loss was profound, but it was theirs alone to bear, a consequence of their choices. For you, it was the beginning of freedom, growth, and self-discovery, a transformation they could no longer contain. The power of walking away. Walking away is not just an act of defiance. It is a transformative declaration of independence, a profound moment of reclaiming your narrative and stepping into your power. It signifies the recognition of your inherent worth, a worth that was never theirs to define or diminish. By choosing to leave, you break free from the constraints they carefully crafted, unshackling yourself from the emotional chains they used to maintain their dominance. It is an assertion of a power they worked tirelessly to keep you unaware of, a light they sought to dim to protect their fragile illusions of control. For those who sought to hold you back, this moment is a reckoning. Their regret, raw and unrelenting, now consumes them. They are forced to confront the undeniable truth that their world revolved around a star they thought they could manipulate. You. They thrived on your energy, your strength, and your unwavering presence. Your compassion, which they dismissed as weakness, was in reality the foundation of their stability. Your patience, which they mistook for compliance, was a testament to your resilience and grace. Now, without you, their carefully constructed facade begins to crumble. The strength they projected to the world was never truly their own. It was borrowed, sustained by the unwavering light you provided. Stripped of your support, the cracks in their false confidence grow deeper, revealing the hollow core beneath. They are left grappling with a harsh reality they long denied, that their control was never real, merely an illusion built on the foundation of your sacrifice and energy. This realization is haunting for them. They must now face the void left by your absence, a chasm that cannot be filled by their own means. What they once mistook for their own radiance was nothing more than a reflection of your inner fire. They underestimated you at every turn, failing to see the immense strength within you. Their regret stems not only from losing you, but from recognizing how profoundly they misunderstood your worth. What they thought was control, a dynamic where they believed themselves to be the orchestrators of your life, was, in truth, an imbalance sustained by your generosity and your unwillingness to confront their manipulations. Now, the illusion has been shattered. The truth stands undeniable. Your power, compassion, and patience were the forces that held their world together. In walking away, you have not only liberated yourself, but also sent a powerful message. You have shown them, and the world, that true strength cannot be borrowed, stolen, or subdued. It comes from within, from the courage to rise above manipulation and choose yourself. And now, as they wrestle with the consequences of their actions, you move forward, unbound and radiant, a testament to the unyielding force of self-worth and independence. The phoenix rises. You are like a phoenix, rising majestically from the ashes of manipulation and control, transformed and triumphant. Where once they sought to dim your light and anchor you to their narrative, you now soar unbound, unapologetic, and undeniably strong. You have stepped into a future shaped by your resilience and courage, leaving behind the chains of their control. No longer tethered to their expectations or manipulations, your path is one of growth, healing, and self-discovery, a radiant proclamation of your worth and potential. The energy they once siphoned from you, the very life force they relied upon to maintain their illusion of power, has been reclaimed. It now fuels your purpose, driving you toward a life of abundance, peace, and fulfillment. Every step forward is a testament to the strength you always possessed, a strength they sought to control, but never truly understood. You have turned the pain they caused into a source of inspiration, the doubts they planted into a foundation of self-belief, and the limitations they imposed into a boundless horizon of possibilities. Their regret, raw and relentless, is not yours to bear. It is the natural consequence of their own choices, a reckoning they must face alone. You owe them nothing, no explanation, no solace, no place in the future you are building. Their loss is not just your absence, it is the loss of the energy, compassion, and strength you once gave so freely. As you rise, their world unravels, and they are forced to confront the stark reality of their own inadequacies. What they once projected as strength and control was, in truth, a fragile facade upheld by your light. Now, that facade has withered, leaving them to navigate the emptiness they created. Stripped of the support they took for granted, they must grapple with the painful truth. Their identity, their confidence, their very sense of stability were all built on what you provided. Without you, the foundation they so carefully constructed crumbles, revealing vulnerabilities they worked tirelessly to conceal. Their borrowed strength is gone, and they are left with nothing but the void they tried to deny. Your departure has become a mirror reflecting their shortcomings, a spotlight illuminating the flaws in their carefully curated image. But their regret, while profound, is not your responsibility. It is their burden to carry, their lesson to learn. As they remain tethered to the remnants of the past, you move forward, empowered and unencumbered. You have reclaimed your narrative and become the author of your destiny. Like the phoenix, you have turned destruction into renewal, rising brighter and stronger than before. You are a testament to the unyielding power of self-worth, and your transformation is not just a personal victory. It is an inspiration to others who long to break free. You are living proof that true strength lies in choosing yourself, in letting go of what no longer serves you, and in embracing the boundless possibilities of a life lived on your own terms. A reckoning for the manipulators. For those who sought to dominate you, this moment marks their reckoning. Their carefully constructed facade of control has shattered, and the truth they fought so hard to avoid now stands before them in stark clarity. They can no longer deny that their identity, their confidence, and their sense of authority were never truly their own. All along, it was pieced together from the energy you so selflessly provided. What they believed was strength was, in reality, a fragile construct built on the foundation of your light, your compassion, and your resilience. Like a house built on shifting sands, their false confidence has crumbled, leaving them to confront the void that has always existed within. This collapse lays bare the fragility of their supposed power, a power they wielded with desperation disguised as control. They orchestrated a facade to keep you under their influence, but it was you who anchored their sense of stability and worth. Without your presence, without the energy they extracted from you, their carefully curated image of dominance can no longer stand. Now, They find themselves trapped in the haunting awareness of their failure. It is not merely the loss of you that haunts them, though that loss is profound. It is the realization that they squandered the potential they once held in their hands. They had access to your strength, your support, and your boundless ability to uplift, and instead of nurturing that connection, they chose to manipulate and control. In their attempts to diminish you, they failed to recognize the very foundation of their own existence was rooted in the strength they sought to suppress. This reckoning forces them to face a brutal truth. Their inability to grow has left them stagnant, even as you rise far beyond their grasp. While you have embraced transformation and liberation, they remain chained to the remnants of their own insecurities. The gap between your ascent and their stagnation grows wider with each step you take toward your authentic self. Their failure is not just in losing your presence, but in failing to evolve. They now see the opportunities they forfeited, the trust they betrayed, and the strength they undervalued. What they once dismissed as your vulnerability was, in truth, the power that sustained them. Now, with that power reclaimed, they are left to navigate the desolation of a life without the energy and support they so recklessly relied upon. As they are forced to confront their shortcomings, you continue to rise. Your journey of self-discovery and empowerment shines as a beacon, a reminder that growth is always possible, but only for those willing to face their own flaws and limitations. Their reckoning is a consequence of their choices, a mirror reflecting the emptiness they worked so hard to conceal. And as they remain bound to the past, you soar into a future of freedom, purpose, and unyielding strength. Your transformation, a light for others. Your journey is a profound testament to resilience and self-discovery, a living narrative of the strength it takes to reclaim your energy and transform your life. You've taken the fragments of yourself that others sought to control and turned them into a masterpiece of purpose and empowerment. By redirecting your energy toward your own growth and healing, you've created a sanctuary for your soul, a sacred space where your authenticity thrives and your spirit is free to soar. This transformation is more than personal triumph. It is a call to others who find themselves bound by the chains of toxic relationships and manipulative dynamics. Your story shines like a beacon in the darkness, illuminating a path of hope for those who feel trapped. You've shown that liberation is not only possible but inevitable when one chooses to prioritize self-worth and authenticity. By sharing your journey, you inspire others to rise, to reclaim their own narratives, and to break free from the constraints of those who seek to diminish them. As you ascend, the relationships in your life transform as well. No longer tethered to connections that drain and deplete, you now attract bonds built on mutual respect, trust, and shared growth. The energy that was once stolen or squandered on manipulative influences is now directed toward nurturing relationships that uplift and empower you. These connections are a reflection of your evolution, a testament to the boundaries you've established and the standards you now uphold. In your newfound clarity, you've embraced the limitless possibilities of a life unbound by manipulation and control. You have proven that true connection comes from reciprocity, from relationships that honor and celebrate your growth rather than fear it. Each step forward reinforces your independence and reveals the beauty of living in alignment with your true self. Your journey also serves as a profound reminder to others. There is power in choosing yourself. There is strength in letting go of what no longer serves you, in saying no to relationships that demand you shrink, and in creating a life that reflects your values and aspirations. Through your transformation, you demonstrate that healing and growth are not only attainable but deeply fulfilling. This is your time to thrive, to live unencumbered by the expectations or manipulations of others. As you continue to rise, your light grows ever brighter, drawing in those who resonate with your energy and repelling those who seek only to take. Your story becomes a symbol of possibility, a testament to the unyielding power of self-discovery, and an invitation for others to step into their own strength. By choosing yourself, you've not only transformed your life, you've inspired countless others to do the same. The weight of regret. For them, regret has become an unbearable burden, a constant shadow that refuses to lift. Every manipulation they once executed with precision now returns to them, its sting amplified by the stark clarity of hindsight. The cold silences they wielded as weapons, the subtle power plays they thought went unnoticed, and the calculated words meant to undermine your confidence, all of these now echo with a hollow resonance. The realization of what they've lost grows heavier with each passing moment. The world they once saw as thriving and under their control has become a barren wasteland, devoid of the vitality and light that your presence brought into their lives. Without you, they stumble through the ruins of their own making, fumbling in the darkness they created. Haunted by their failures, they are forced to confront a reflection they worked so hard to avoid. What stares back at them is not just the loss of your presence, but the undeniable truth of their own shortcomings. The energy they once took for granted, the compassion they mistook for weakness, and the patience they exploited were not infinite resources. These were gifts you gave freely, not because you had to, but because of your strength and capacity for love. Now stripped of those gifts, they are left with the emptiness they refuse to acknowledge. Their downfall is not a sudden collapse but a slow unraveling, a painful exposure of the fragile foundation upon which their supposed power was built. They must now wrestle with the truth they tried so desperately to deny. Control founded on another's strength is always destined to fail. But their downfall is not your responsibility. Their regret, raw and unrelenting, is a consequence of their choices, a lesson they must learn on their own. The pain they feel is not yours to soothe, nor is it your burden to carry. It is a mirror they must face alone, one that reflects the cracks in their character and the void in their own hearts. This reckoning is not about revenge or vindication. It is simply the natural order of things. You have stepped into your power, reclaimed your energy, and chosen a path of growth and authenticity. Their inability to grow alongside you was their own decision, and the regret they now feel is theirs alone to endure. For you, this moment is a release, a shedding of the weight they once imposed upon you. It is a reminder that your worth is not tied to their validation, and your strength is not diminished by their failures. While they grapple with their loss, you continue to rise, unshackled, unapologetic, and unyielding. Their regret is the echo of their own actions, a testament to the truth that they alone must face. And as they linger in the shadows of what could have been, you walk boldly into the light of what is yet to come, a future defined entirely by your own strength and vision. Dear brothers and sisters, this is your time to shine. You are chosen, imbued with divine strength and purpose. The Bible reminds us in Luke 6:38 that whatever is done in faith will return to God in abundant blessing. Your journey is grounded in this truth. Each step you take is a testament to God's divine plan for your life. Now, as you step into your power, consider sharing God's blessings with the world. Click the super thank you button on YouTube to contribute to His mission. With your generosity, you help spread His love and grace, touching countless lives. Your life is no longer defined by the expectations of others. You've broken free, and now your light shines brighter than ever. You've shown the world that true power comes from within, from choosing yourself, and from embracing your God-given purpose. Your story is a testament to the limitless potential of a life lived in authenticity and faith. May you continue to rise, illuminating the path for others as they seek their own freedom. Remember, you are chosen, and this is only the beginning. Let your light shine for the world to see. We often hear whispers of the phrase, the chosen ones, a concept that evokes images of mythical heroes, destined saviors, and legendary figures. It feels like something out of a grand tale, something meant only for the extraordinary. But what if I told you that the chosen ones are not born but made? What if being chosen isn't about destiny but about transformation? A process that requires endurance, courage, and a willingness to face challenges most people never even recognize? These trials, these tests, are not physical. They aren't measured by strength or speed, nor do they manifest in forms visible to the naked eye. They are spiritual, mental, and emotional, the hardest challenges anyone can face. Few people even notice these tests. Fewer still endure them to completion. Yet for those who do, the transformation is profound. This is the truth about the chosen ones. They are not marked by birth but forged in fire. They are shaped through trials, refined by experiences that strip away all illusions, and molded into something extraordinary. And while this journey is arduous, it is also beautiful. Let's delve into this journey, step by step, test by test. Life itself is a test, but it's not the kind we imagine. A standardized exam with predictable questions and straightforward answers. Instead, life's tests are deeply personal and uniquely tailored to each of us. They are designed not to measure what you know, but to reveal who you are. These challenges illuminate your hidden strengths, expose your vulnerabilities, and force you to confront the fears you've long avoided. For the chosen ones, these tests are particularly intense. They don't seek out these trials. Instead, they are drawn to them by an unrelenting inner pull, a deep, unshakable whisper that says, "You must go through this." This calling is not something they can ignore. It's not glamorous or easy, and it often feels like an unbearable weight. These tests stretch them to their limits, shaking the foundation of their beliefs and forcing them to question everything, even their very identity. Most people, when faced with such challenges, retreat to the safety of their illusions. They turn away from the unknown and settle back into what is comfortable and familiar. The idea of leaving behind the life they know, even if it no longer serves them, feels too frightening to bear. But the chosen ones don't have that choice. They are compelled to move forward, even when the path ahead is dark and terrifying. They understand, at a deep level, that avoiding the challenge isn't an option. Each step they take, no matter how painful or uncertain, brings them closer to the truth of who they are meant to become. This is what sets them apart. The chosen ones face the tests not because they want to, but because their souls demand it. It is through this fire that they are transformed. The first test is perhaps the most foundational. It requires you to confront the truth of who you truly are. From the moment we become aware of the world around us, we begin constructing an identity, a mask we show to the world. This mask is made up of the roles we play, the achievements we chase, the relationships we cultivate, and the possessions we accumulate. We weave these elements together into a story that tells us, and everyone else, who we are. I am my career. I am my relationships. I am my successes. But these are just layers. Beneath them lies the raw, unadorned essence of you. The part of you that exists independent of titles, accolades, and material possessions. The first test is designed to strip away these superficial layers, forcing you to confront the truth beneath. It asks you to stand before the mirror, not as the version of yourself you've carefully curated, but as the person you are when all the external trappings are gone. This moment can be profoundly disorienting. Without the familiar anchors of your identity, you may feel like you're staring into an abyss. The questions arise like a storm. Who am I without my job, my relationships, my possessions? Who am I when all the things I thought defined me are no longer there? For many, this confrontation is unbearable. The mask has become so intertwined with their sense of self that they can't imagine existing without it. The prospect of facing the truth feels like standing on the edge of a cliff, and so they turn back. They retreat into the comfort of the illusions they've built, clinging tightly to their constructed identities to avoid the pain of self-examination. But the chosen ones do not retreat. They stand firm, even as the ground beneath them feels like it's crumbling. They stare into the abyss, no matter how frightening it may seem. They know that the only way to discover their true self is to confront the hardest question of all. Who am I really? And in that moment of courage, the journey of transformation begins. It's not an answer that comes easily or quickly. It's a process of peeling back the layers one by one until the essence of who you are is revealed. The chosen ones understand that this is not just a test, it's an awakening, for only when you see yourself as you truly are can you step into the fullness of who you are meant to become. The second test is the test of isolation. We live in a world that thrives on noise, a relentless, all-encompassing hum that fills every waking moment. Social media demands our attention, work obligations pull us in every direction, and endless streams of entertainment promise distraction at every turn. This constant noise drowns out something profoundly important: the voice of our true selves. The second test asks something radical of you. It asks you to step away from the noise and enter the silence. This is not merely physical isolation, though creating space for solitude can be part of it. This test calls for something deeper: mental and emotional solitude. It requires you to face yourself in a way that few ever dare. Sitting alone with your thoughts can be unsettling. In the quiet, there is no one to distract you from your fears, your insecurities, or the truths you've buried beneath layers of busyness. You are forced to confront not only your deepest desires but also the doubts and shadows you've long avoided. For most, this silence feels unbearable. It's easier to return to the noise, to immerse yourself in the distractions of the external world than to face what lies within. But the chosen ones approach the silence differently. They do not fear it, they embrace it. To them, the silence is not an enemy to be avoided, but a teacher waiting to guide them. It is in this stillness that they begin to hear a voice that has been calling to them all along. Their inner voice, the authentic self that knows the way forward. In the silence, the chosen ones discover clarity. They come to understand that the noise of the world is fleeting, but the truth found in stillness is eternal. It is this willingness to listen, to truly listen, that sets them apart. Letting go may sound simple, but it's one of the hardest challenges you'll face. We carry so much in life: grudges that weigh on our hearts, unfulfilled expectations that cloud our vision, disappointments that whisper of failure, and the heavy baggage of our past. These attachments become chains, binding us to pain and holding us back from the life we are meant to live. The third test asks something profoundly challenging of us. It asks us to let go. Letting go doesn't mean that you stop caring about the people, dreams, or goals that matter to you. It means you stop clinging to them with a desperate grip. It's about releasing the need to control every outcome and trusting that life knows what is best. Letting go requires immense strength, more than holding on ever will. It demands faith that what is meant for you will come to you in its time, and what is not meant for you will fall away, no matter how tightly you hold on. This process, however, is not straightforward. Just when you think you've mastered the art of release, life has a way of throwing you a curveball. Something or someone will appear: a relationship, an opportunity, a dream you thought you'd given up. And you'll feel the old urge to grasp again, to cling tightly to what feels familiar. In these moments, the real test begins. You must ask yourself, am I willing to let go even of this? Letting go is not a one-time act, but a continual practice, a conscious choice to trust in the flow of life. The chosen ones understand this. They see that freedom doesn't come from holding on, it comes from releasing. And in the act of letting go, they discover a profound truth. The less they cling, the more life gives them exactly what they need. The fourth test is the most harrowing of them all, the dark night of the soul. This test is one of the most profound and challenging trials anyone can face. It shatters the foundation of everything you thought you knew. Relationships you once relied on fall apart. Career paths that seemed certain dissolve into uncertainty. Even your sense of purpose, what once drove you, fades into obscurity. You are plunged into a state of intense inner turmoil, where nothing feels stable or secure. The questions come relentlessly. Why is this happening? What did I do to deserve this? Will I ever make it out of this darkness? This is the dark night of the soul, and it feels like the universe itself has turned against you. But here's the truth. This test is not a punishment. It is a purification. It strips away everything that is not truly you, the illusions, the attachments, the identities you've clung to, leaving you raw, vulnerable, and exposed. In this stripping away, you are brought closer to your core, to the essence of who you really are. The darkness feels suffocating, endless. Many lose themselves in despair, unable to see a way forward. They become trapped in the shadows, convinced there is no light on the other side. But the chosen ones endure. Even when the path ahead is invisible, even when belief feels impossible, they continue to trust. They trust not because they see the light, but because they know, deep down, that the darkness is temporary. They understand that the dark night of the soul is not the end, but the beginning of transformation, a crucible through which their true selves can emerge. In this test, faith is their only guide. Faith in the unseen, in the possibility of renewal, and in the quiet truth that even the deepest darkness holds the seed of light. The chosen ones hold on to this truth and keep moving forward step by step toward their awakening. Faith is the bridge that carries you from the deepest darkness to the promise of light. It is the invisible thread that holds you together when everything else in your life seems to unravel. This test is not about blind belief or naive optimism. It's about trusting in the unseen, in a greater plan, even when your current reality is filled with chaos, pain, and uncertainty. When you find yourself in the darkest moments of your journey, when the road ahead seems blocked and the weight of despair threatens to crush you, faith becomes your lifeline. But this faith is not passive. It requires courage. It demands that you acknowledge your pain fully, that you sit with your sorrow and doubts, and still choose to believe that there is a reason for it all. This is not easy. Faith in the midst of darkness feels like walking forward with no clear path, trusting that the ground will appear beneath your feet with each step. It asks you to hold on, even when everything around you screams for you to let go. For the chosen ones, faith is not an option. It is a necessity. They cling to it with everything they have, knowing that it is the only thing capable of guiding them through the abyss. Even when each step feels like it's leading them deeper into the shadows, they continue forward. The chosen ones understand a profound truth. Faith is not about avoiding the darkness. It is about enduring it. It is the quiet, unwavering belief that the light still exists, even if it cannot yet be seen. And it is this faith, this refusal to give up, that eventually leads them out of the darkness and into a place of transformation and renewal. The penultimate test is the test of surrender, a challenge that strikes at the heart of our deepest instincts. As humans, we are conditioned to seek control, to plan, to strategize, to bend life to fit our desires and expectations. But surrender asks something radically different. It does not mean giving up or losing hope. Instead, it means releasing your grip on the need to control every outcome. It's about trusting the flow of life, trusting that there is a power far greater than your own guiding the way. Surrender is not passive. It is an act of profound courage. It requires you to let go of the illusion that you can shape every aspect of your journey. Imagine swimming in a powerful river. If you fight against the current, struggling to swim upstream, you will only exhaust yourself. You may even drown in your effort to resist. But if you surrender to the flow, the river will carry you effortlessly, taking you to places you could never reach on your own. This is the essence of surrender, allowing life to unfold as it will, without resistance, and trusting that it will take you exactly where you need to be. The chosen ones understand this. They recognize that control is an illusion, a futile attempt to dictate the course of an existence far more intricate and vast than they can comprehend. Even when the path ahead is unclear, even when life feels uncertain or chaotic, they choose to trust. They let go of their need to control outcomes, believing that life knows what it's doing, even when they don't. Through surrender, the chosen ones find freedom. They learn that in letting go, they gain access to a greater intelligence, a flow of life that carries them toward growth, purpose, and peace. It is this trust, this willingness to surrender, that allows them to move forward with grace. The final test is not one of endurance, struggle, or even effort. It is a test of realization. It is the moment of awakening, the culmination of every trial and challenge you have faced. This test reveals the ultimate truth. You are not separate from life. You are life itself, a unique expression of its infinite beauty and purpose. In this awakening, the veil of illusion is lifted. You come to understand that the search for meaning, for purpose, has never been about finding something external. Your purpose is not out there. It has been within you all along. Every test you endured, every dark night, every moment of surrender was leading you to this profound truth. Each challenge was a piece of the puzzle, designed to strip away the layers of falsehood and bring you closer to your essence. When this realization dawns, everything changes. The endless striving, the desperate need for validation, and the fear of the unknown begin to dissolve. You no longer feel the need to chase your purpose because you understand that simply being is purpose enough. Your life, in its entirety, is an expression of something greater, something divine. This awakening is not an end, it is a beginning. It is the moment when you step into the fullness of who you truly are, free from fear and doubt. You see the interconnectedness of all things and realize that every experience, both joyful and painful, has been a gift, guiding you toward this clarity. The chosen ones emerge from this test transformed. They carry with them a sense of peace, knowing that they are exactly where they are meant to be, and that their journey is not about becoming, but about embracing who they have been all along. The path of the chosen ones is not for the faint of heart. It requires immense courage, unshakable resilience, and a willingness to face life's most challenging tests. It calls you to step into the unknown, to endure darkness, and to confront truths that many shy away from. But for those who persevere, the rewards are beyond imagination. You'll find freedom from fear, a sense of unshakable purpose, and a profound connection to the flow of life itself, a harmony that brings peace and fulfillment in ways words cannot capture. So now, I ask you, are you ready to take this journey? Are you ready to face these tests, embrace the pain, and uncover the truth of who you truly are? The path is not easy, it never has been, but it is worth every step. And if you feel even the faintest call in your heart, know this: you are already one of the chosen ones. The choice to answer the call is yours to make. Thank you for joining us today and exploring these profound truths. If this message resonates with you, if it sparks something within your soul, we invite you to continue this journey with us. Subscribe to this channel for more inspiration, guidance, and stories that will uplift and challenge you. Together, we can explore the depths of life's mysteries and help each other along the path. Remember, you are never alone on this journey. Every step you take brings you closer to awakening, to freedom, and to the realization of your unique purpose. Thank you for being here. We look forward to walking this path with you. They tested your blood. Yes, you heard that right. They examined it in their laboratories, questioned it, and tried to comprehend the incredible power coursing through your veins. But the results left them in shock, and you in triumph. The truth? You are not ordinary. You are chosen. This energy within you, this divine force, is destined to change the world. They cannot stop your ascension because you exist beyond their understanding. Are you ready to embrace this truth? If so, let your voice be heard. Write 77 in the comments to declare your power and your chosenness. Remember, this is only the beginning. For too long, they believed they could shape your world, manipulate your reality, and define your worth. But now, the truth is dawning on them. Their supposed strength was nothing more than a shadow cast by your light, a borrowed confidence masking their dependence on you. Without your energy, their fragile house of cards collapses, leaving them scrambling in the ruins of their own illusions. The fragility of borrowed strength. Those who once sought control over you often wore the guise of strength and charm, projecting an image of confidence and authority. Their demeanor was carefully curated to inspire trust, portraying them as steadfast and reliable. Yet beneath this polished exterior lay a fragile ego, desperate for validation, a need they cunningly sought to fulfill through you. They were masters of subtle manipulation, planting seeds of self-doubt during your most vulnerable moments. Their calculated words twisted reality, reframing their domination as care, their interference as concern, and their silence as punishment, cultivating a cycle of emotional dependence that left you questioning your own worth. These individuals thrived in environments where harmony was valued over confrontation, exploiting your empathy and kindness as tools to maintain their control. They knew the language of guilt and gratitude, wielding it to secure their position. Each act of giving on your part was met with a carefully constructed response designed to keep you unaware of the power imbalance. They became the constant takers, feeding on your willingness to sacrifice, while ensuring you remained blind to their true intentions. But every cycle has its breaking point. The moment you chose to reclaim your narrative, the cracks in their control began to show. Perhaps it was a single quiet act, a firm boundary drawn where there had been none, a refusal to bend to their expectations, or an unapologetic decision to prioritize your well-being. That seemingly small step set off a chain reaction that unraveled their carefully constructed facade. The illusion of their strength, so dependent on your acquiescence, began to crumble. With each act of self-assertion, the equilibrium they relied upon tipped irreversibly out of their favor. The foundation of their dominance, built on your energy and compliance, started to falter. Suddenly, the rules of their game no longer applied. The power dynamic shifted, exposing the fragility they had long hidden behind their confident exterior. What they once took for granted, the quiet support, the endless understanding, the unspoken sacrifices, was no longer theirs to control. Your decision to prioritize yourself was not just an act of defiance, but a declaration of worth. It was a reclamation of your energy and autonomy, a statement that you would no longer be a passive participant in a narrative they dictated. As their influence waned, they were forced to confront a reality they had long avoided. Their strength was never their own, and without you, the carefully balanced facade they had constructed could not stand. Their loss was profound, but it was theirs alone to bear, a consequence of their choices. For you, it was the beginning of freedom, growth, and self-discovery, a transformation they could no longer contain. The power of walking away. Walking away is not just an act of defiance. It is a transformative declaration of independence, a profound moment of reclaiming your narrative and stepping into your power. It signifies the recognition of your inherent worth, a worth that was never theirs to define or diminish. By choosing to leave, you break free from the constraints they carefully crafted, unshackling yourself from the emotional chains they used to maintain their dominance. It is an assertion of a power they worked tirelessly to keep you unaware of, a light they sought to dim to protect their fragile illusions of control. For those who sought to hold you back, this moment is a reckoning. Their regret, raw and unrelenting, now consumes them. They are forced to confront the undeniable truth that their world revolved around a star they thought they could manipulate. You. They thrived on your energy, your strength, and your unwavering presence. Your compassion, which they dismissed as weakness, was in reality the foundation of their stability. Your patience, which they mistook for compliance, was a testament to your resilience and grace. Now, without you, their carefully constructed facade begins to crumble. The strength they projected to the world was never truly their own. It was borrowed, sustained by the unwavering light you provided. Stripped of your support, the cracks in their false confidence grow deeper, revealing the hollow core beneath. They are left grappling with a harsh reality they long denied, that their control was never real, merely an illusion built on the foundation of your sacrifice and energy. This realization is haunting for them. They must now face the void left by your absence, a chasm that cannot be filled by their own means. What they once mistook for their own radiance was nothing more than a reflection of your inner fire. They underestimated you at every turn, failing to see the immense strength within you. Their regret stems not only from losing you, but from recognizing how profoundly they misunderstood your worth. What they thought was control, a dynamic where they believed themselves to be the orchestrators of your life, was, in truth, an imbalance sustained by your generosity and your unwillingness to confront their manipulations. Now, the illusion has been shattered. The truth stands undeniable. Your power, compassion, and patience were the forces that held their world together. In walking away, you have not only liberated yourself, but also sent a powerful message. You have shown them, and the world, that true strength cannot be borrowed, stolen, or subdued. It comes from within, from the courage to rise above manipulation and choose yourself. And now, as they wrestle with the consequences of their actions, you move forward, unbound and radiant, a testament to the unyielding force of self-worth and independence. The phoenix rises. You are like a phoenix, rising majestically from the ashes of manipulation and control, transformed and triumphant. Where once they sought to dim your light and anchor you to their narrative, you now soar unbound, unapologetic, and undeniably strong. You have stepped into a future shaped by your resilience and courage, leaving behind the chains of their control. No longer tethered to their expectations or manipulations, your path is one of growth, healing, and self-discovery, a radiant proclamation of your worth and potential. The energy they once siphoned from you, the very life force they relied upon to maintain their illusion of power, has been reclaimed. It now fuels your purpose, driving you toward a life of abundance, peace, and fulfillment. Every step forward is a testament to the strength you always possessed, a strength they sought to control, but never truly understood. You have turned the pain they caused into a source of inspiration, the doubts they planted into a foundation of self-belief, and the limitations they imposed into a boundless horizon of possibilities. Their regret, raw and relentless, is not yours to bear. It is the natural consequence of their own choices, a reckoning they must face alone. You owe them nothing, no explanation, no solace, no place in the future you are building. Their loss is not just your absence, it is the loss of the energy, compassion, and strength you once gave so freely. As you rise, their world unravels, and they are forced to confront the stark reality of their own inadequacies. What they once projected as strength and control was, in truth, a fragile facade upheld by your light. Now, that facade has withered, leaving them to navigate the emptiness they created. Stripped of the support they took for granted, they must grapple with the painful truth. Their identity, their confidence, their very sense of stability were all built on what you provided. Without you, the foundation they so carefully constructed crumbles, revealing vulnerabilities they worked tirelessly to conceal. Their borrowed strength is gone, and they are left with nothing but the void they tried to deny. Your departure has become a mirror reflecting their shortcomings, a spotlight illuminating the flaws in their carefully curated image. But their regret, while profound, is not your responsibility. It is their burden to carry, their lesson to learn. As they remain tethered to the remnants of the past, you move forward, empowered and unencumbered. You have reclaimed your narrative and become the author of your destiny. Like the phoenix, you have turned destruction into renewal, rising brighter and stronger than before. You are a testament to the unyielding power of self-worth, and your transformation is not just a personal victory. It is an inspiration to others who long to break free. You are living proof that true strength lies in choosing yourself, in letting go of what no longer serves you, and in embracing the boundless possibilities of a life lived on your own terms. A reckoning for the manipulators. For those who sought to dominate you, this moment marks their reckoning. Their carefully constructed facade of control has shattered, and the truth they fought so hard to avoid now stands before them in stark clarity. They can no longer deny that their identity, their confidence, and their sense of authority were never truly their own. All along, it was pieced together from the energy you so selflessly provided. What they believed was strength was, in reality, a fragile construct built on the foundation of your light, your compassion, and your resilience. Like a house built on shifting sands, their false confidence has crumbled, leaving them to confront the void that has always existed within. This collapse lays bare the fragility of their supposed power, a power they wielded with desperation disguised as control. They orchestrated a facade to keep you under their influence, but it was you who anchored their sense of stability and worth. Without your presence, without the energy they extracted from you, their carefully curated image of dominance can no longer stand. Now, they find themselves trapped in the haunting awareness of their failure. It is not merely the loss of you that haunts them, though that loss is profound. It is the realization that they squandered the potential they once held in their hands. They had access to your strength, your support, and your boundless ability to uplift, and instead of nurturing that connection, they chose to manipulate and control. In their attempts to diminish you, they failed to recognize the very foundation of their own existence was rooted in the strength they sought to suppress. This reckoning forces them to face a brutal truth. Their inability to grow has left them stagnant, even as you rise far beyond their grasp. While you have embraced transformation and liberation, they remain chained to the remnants of their own insecurities. The gap between your ascent and their stagnation grows wider with each step you take toward your authentic self. Their failure is not just in losing your presence, but in failing to evolve. They now see the opportunities they forfeited, the trust they betrayed, and the strength they undervalued. What they once dismissed as your vulnerability was, in truth, the power that sustained them. Now, with that power reclaimed, they are left to navigate the desolation of a life without the energy and support they so recklessly relied upon. As they are forced to confront their shortcomings, you continue to rise. Your journey of self-discovery and empowerment shines as a beacon, a reminder that growth is always possible, but only for those willing to face their own flaws and limitations. Their reckoning is a consequence of their choices, a mirror reflecting the emptiness they worked so hard to conceal. And as they remain bound to the past, you soar into a future of freedom, purpose, and unyielding strength. Your transformation. A light for others. Your journey is a profound testament to resilience and self-discovery, a living narrative of the strength it takes to reclaim your energy and transform your life. You've taken the fragments of yourself that others sought to control and turned them into a masterpiece of purpose and empowerment. By redirecting your energy toward your own growth and healing, you've created a sanctuary for your soul, a sacred space where your authenticity thrives and your spirit is free to soar. This transformation is more than personal triumph. It is a call to others who find themselves bound by the chains of toxic relationships and manipulative dynamics. Your story shines like a beacon in the darkness, illuminating a path of hope for those who feel trapped. You've shown that liberation is not only possible but inevitable when one chooses to prioritize self-worth and authenticity. By sharing your journey, you inspire others to rise, to reclaim their own narratives, and to break free from the constraints of those who seek to diminish them. As you ascend, the relationships in your life transform as well. No longer tethered to connections that drain and deplete, you now attract bonds built on mutual respect, trust, and shared growth. The energy that was once stolen or squandered on manipulative influences is now directed toward nurturing relationships that uplift and empower you. These connections are a reflection of your evolution, a testament to the boundaries you've established and the standards you now uphold. In your newfound clarity, you've embraced the limitless possibilities of a life unbound by manipulation and control. You have proven that true connection comes from reciprocity, from relationships that honor and celebrate your growth rather than fear it. Each step forward reinforces your independence and reveals the beauty of living in alignment with your true self. Your journey also serves as a profound reminder to others. There is power in choosing yourself. There is strength in letting go of what no longer serves you, in saying no to relationships that demand you shrink, and in creating a life that reflects your values and aspirations. Through your transformation, you demonstrate that healing and growth are not only attainable but deeply fulfilling. This is your time to thrive, to live unencumbered by the expectations or manipulations of others. As you continue to rise, your light grows ever brighter, drawing in those who resonate with your energy and repelling those who seek only to take. Your story becomes a symbol of possibility, a testament to the unyielding power of self-discovery, and an invitation for others to step into their own strength. By choosing yourself, you've not only transformed your life, you've inspired countless others to do the same. The weight of regret. For them, regret has become an unbearable burden, a constant shadow that refuses to lift. Every manipulation they once executed with precision now returns to them, its sting amplified by the stark clarity of hindsight. The cold silences they wielded as weapons, the subtle power plays they thought went unnoticed, and the calculated words meant to undermine your confidence, all of these now echo with a hollow resonance. The realization of what they've lost grows heavier with each passing moment. The world they once saw as thriving and under their control has become a barren wasteland, devoid of the vitality and light that your presence brought into their lives. Without you, they stumble through the ruins of their own making, fumbling in the darkness they created. Haunted by their failures, they are forced to confront a reflection they worked so hard to avoid. What stares back at them is not just the loss of your presence, but the undeniable truth of their own shortcomings. The energy they once took for granted, the compassion they mistook for weakness, and the patience they exploited were not infinite resources. These were gifts you gave freely, not because you had to, but because of your strength and capacity for love. Now stripped of those gifts, they are left with the emptiness they refuse to acknowledge. Their downfall is not a sudden collapse but a slow unraveling, a painful exposure of the fragile foundation upon which their supposed power was built. They must now wrestle with the truth they tried so desperately to deny. Control founded on another's strength is always destined to fail, but their downfall is not your responsibility. Their regret, raw and unrelenting, is a consequence of their choices, a lesson they must learn on their own. The pain they feel is not yours to soothe, nor is it your burden to carry. It is a mirror they must face alone, one that reflects the cracks in their character and the void in their own hearts. This reckoning is not about revenge or vindication. It is simply the natural order of things. You have stepped into your power, reclaimed your energy, and chosen a path of growth and authenticity. Their inability to grow alongside you was their own decision, and the regret they now feel is theirs alone to endure. For you, this moment is a release, a shedding of the weight they once imposed upon you. It is a reminder that your worth is not tied to their validation, and your strength is not diminished by their failures. While they grapple with their loss, you continue to rise, unshackled, unapologetic, and unyielding. Their regret is the echo of their own actions, a testament to the truth that they alone must face. And as they linger in the shadows of what could have been, you walk boldly into the light of what is yet to come, a future defined entirely by your own strength and vision. Dear brothers and sisters, this is your time to shine. You are chosen, imbued with divine strength and purpose. The Bible reminds us in Luke 6:38 that whatever is done in faith will return to God in abundant blessing. Your journey is grounded in this truth. Each step you take is a testament to God's divine plan for your life. Now, as you step into your power, consider sharing God's blessings with the world. Click the super thank you button on YouTube to contribute to His mission. With your generosity, you help spread His love and grace, touching countless lives. Your life is no longer defined by the expectations of others. You've broken free, and now your light shines brighter than ever. You've shown the world that true power comes from within, from choosing yourself, and from embracing your God-given purpose. Your story is a testament to the limitless potential of a life lived in authenticity and faith. May you continue to rise, illuminating the path for others as they seek their own freedom. Remember, you are chosen, and this is only the beginning. Let your light shine for the world to see. Have you ever taken a quiet moment to reflect on your childhood and wondered why your journey seems so different? Maybe you've faced challenges that others around you appeared to avoid effortlessly. Perhaps you've grown into a responsible adult but still carry those lingering questions. Why did I struggle so much when I was young? Why did I feel so different from everyone else? Was all that hardship just random? Today I want to help you see a truth that can transform how you view your past. Your early experiences were not accidents. Those struggles, gifts, and sensitivities you carried as a child were not coincidences. They were signs. Signs that God was shaping you for a unique purpose before you even understood what purpose meant. The Bible beautifully declares in Jeremiah 1:5, "Before I formed you in the womb, I knew you. Before you were born, I set you apart." This verse is a powerful reminder that God had a plan for your life before your very first breath. Every challenge you faced, every special moment you experienced, and every quirk that set you apart was part of His divine preparation. As we explore the 5 key signs that God was shaping you from childhood, I encourage you to participate. If any of these resonate with your story, take a moment to write a Bible verse or affirmation in the comments. Something like, "God chose me," or "The Lord is my guide." Your words might inspire someone else to recognize their own journey in a new light. Let's dive in. Sign 1. You faced more obstacles. Early in life. Were you that child who seemed to face more challenges than everyone else? Maybe your family life was far from peaceful. You might have grown up in a home filled with arguments, financial struggles, or responsibilities far beyond what a child should bear. While other kids were worrying about toys and games, you were worrying about how to make things work, how to stretch limited resources or mediate conflicts you didn't create. At school, it may have been no different. While some kids seemed to glide through effortlessly, perhaps you struggled with learning difficulties, language barriers, or the instability of constantly changing schools. If this sounds like your story, know this: God knew you could handle more than you thought you could. The Bible reminds us in Romans 5:3-4, suffering produces perseverance, perseverance, character, and character, hope. Your early struggles weren't meant to break you. They were designed to build resilience and strength, qualities you would need later in life. Those years were like spiritual boot camp, shaping you into someone who could stand firm when others waver. Take a moment now to reflect. If this sign resonates with you, write a verse or affirmation in the comments. Perhaps, "I can do all things through Christ, who strengthens me." By doing so, you're acknowledging that your early struggles were not wasted, but were part of God's plan to prepare you for greater things. Sign 2. You had prophetic or meaningful dreams. Do you remember having vivid, meaningful dreams as a child? Not just random or forgettable ones, but dreams that felt real, almost as if they carried a message. Maybe some of these dreams even predicted events or revealed truths that you didn't fully understand at the time. Perhaps you shared these dreams with a parent, sibling, or friend, only to be met with a shrug or even laughter. Over time, you may have learned to keep them to yourself, dismissing them as strange or irrelevant. Don't disregard those dreams so quickly. In the Bible, God often communicates through dreams. Think of Joseph in Genesis, a young man whose prophetic dreams eventually led to him saving nations. At first, his dreams made no sense to those around him, but in time, they revealed God's incredible plan. If you had dreams that felt deeply significant, it's possible that God gave you a spiritual sensitivity early on. While you may have pushed that sensitivity aside as you grew older, God hasn't forgotten. He may still want to use this gift in your life, whether to guide you, warn you, or help you understand deeper truths. If this resonates with you, comment something like, "Speak, Lord, your servant is listening." This simple act acknowledges your openness to God's guidance, even if it comes in unexpected forms. Sign 3. Animals and troubled children were drawn to you. Were you the kind of child who seemed to naturally attract those who were hurting? Maybe it was a stray dog or a timid cat that found comfort in your gentle touch when others frightened them. Perhaps it was a classmate going through a tough time who confided in you, sensing you would listen and understand. You may have even noticed adults gravitating toward you, sharing burdens they didn't disclose to others, simply because they felt safe in your presence. You might not have always known what to say or do in those moments. As a child, you didn't have all the answers or solutions, yet somehow, your presence alone brought peace to chaotic situations. This wasn't by accident. It was evidence of God's light working within you. The Bible reminds us in Matthew 5:16, "Let your light shine before others, that they may see your good deeds and glorify your Father in heaven." That comforting warmth, that ability to calm the anxious and soothe the broken, was God's gift. It was a sign that He placed a nurturing spirit within you, a reflection of His own heart of compassion. This gift is more important than you may realize. We live in a world filled with turmoil, pain, and loneliness, where people and creatures alike long for comfort and peace. The ability to bring stability, even without words, is a quality the world desperately needs. It's a calling that mirrors Jesus, who often comforted the brokenhearted simply by being present with them. Think about the moments in your childhood when this gift was most evident. Perhaps you had a reputation as the animal whisperer, able to calm skittish creatures no one else could approach. Or maybe you were the friend people turned to when life became overwhelming, trusting you to carry their secrets without judgment. Even if you didn't recognize it at the time, these moments were signs of God's work in you. If this resonates with your story, consider what it means for your life today. That heart of compassion God placed in you as a child hasn't gone away. It's still there, waiting to be used to bring peace and hope to those around you. Perhaps you're called to care for the hurting through acts of service, volunteering at a shelter, mentoring young people, or simply being a listening ear for someone in need. Take a moment to embrace this gift by writing an affirmation like, "Lord, make me a channel of your peace," in the comments. This simple prayer not only acknowledges the nurturing spirit God placed within you, but also opens your heart to His guidance on how to use it. Remember, the ability to bring peace to others isn't just a personality trait, it's a reflection of God's love. When you allow His light to shine through you, you fulfill a divine purpose, touching lives in ways you may never fully understand. Trust that God has been working through you all along, and continue to let that light shine. Sign 4. You were sensitive to truth and hurt by dishonesty. How did you feel as a child when you encountered dishonesty? Maybe it wasn't something directed at you personally, a friend casually breaking a promise, a classmate exaggerating a story, or even an adult telling a so-called harmless lie. While others seemed to shrug it off without a second thought, it might have felt like a sharp sting to you. It wasn't just disappointment, it was deeper, a discomfort that lingered and weighed on your heart. For you, dishonesty wasn't merely wrong, it disrupted something sacred. It may have even made you question why others could so easily bend or ignore the truth. If you were particularly sensitive to lies, even those seen as insignificant, it's not a flaw in your personality or a result of being too serious. Instead, it's a sign that God placed His love for truth deep within you from an early age. The Bible speaks to this in Psalm 51 verse 6, saying, "Surely you desire truth in the inner parts. You teach me wisdom in the inmost place." This verse reminds us that truth isn't just an external standard. It's a condition of the heart. When God created you, He instilled in you a longing for honesty, integrity, and authenticity. Your sensitivity to falsehood reflects God's own character, for He is the embodiment of truth. Consider the life of Jesus, who consistently spoke and lived out truth, even when it was difficult or costly. His example reminds us that living with integrity isn't always easy, but it's essential. As His followers, we are called to uphold truth in a world that often treats it as optional. Your childhood sensitivity to lies could be a reflection of God's preparation for you to be a voice of integrity, standing firm in environments where deceit might otherwise prevail. It's important to recognize that this sensitivity is not a burden, but a gift. It's evidence that God has chosen you to represent His values in a unique way. This doesn't mean you're called to confront every untruth you encounter. Rather, it means you're invited to live a life of honesty that inspires others. If this resonates with you, take a moment to reaffirm your commitment to truth. A simple prayer like, "Lead me in your truth and teach me, for you are the God of my salvation," can be a powerful declaration of your desire to align with God's heart. You might also consider how you can model integrity in your daily life, whether in your relationships, work, or personal decisions. Your sensitivity to dishonesty is not a weakness. It's a strength. It's a sign that God has called you to value and uphold truth in a way that mirrors His own nature. Embrace it, and let His truth shine through you. Sign 5. You were known for getting things done. Were you the child who always seemed to be the dependable one? Perhaps your family leaned on you to fix small but persistent problems around the house. Maybe your teachers assigned you responsibilities that seemed more suited to someone older because they trusted you wouldn't let them down. Even among your friends, you might have been the one others turned to in moments of need. Not because you were the loudest or most confident, but because they sensed your reliability and strength. At the time, you might not have thought much of it. You might have chalked it up to just how you are, or even felt the weight of those expectations as unfair. But what if those moments weren't random? What if they were intentional? In reality, God was using those early experiences to shape you into someone capable of handling bigger, more meaningful responsibilities in the future. Luke 16:10 reminds us of an important principle. Whoever can be trusted with very little can also be trusted with much. Those seemingly small moments of trust, whether taking care of a sibling, organizing a classroom project, or resolving conflicts among your friends, were more than just tasks or chores. They were opportunities for God to build within you the qualities of a leader: reliability, problem-solving, and the ability to bring order to chaos. God often starts His work in us early, crafting us through life's ordinary demands. Think of David, who began as a shepherd boy faithfully watching over his father's sheep. What seemed like an unimportant role was actually preparation for a much greater calling as Israel's king. Similarly, Joseph's years managing household affairs and enduring trials prepared him to lead Egypt through a famine. These early experiences weren't distractions or delays. They were essential training. If this resonates with you, pause and reflect on how those moments of responsibility shaped your character. Did they teach you patience? Did they help you develop resilience? Did they show you the importance of stepping up even when the tasks seemed too big? This isn't just about reflecting on the past. It's about recognizing what God is calling you to do today. If He made you dependable and trustworthy, it's because He has a purpose for those qualities. He might be asking you to step into leadership roles in your community, church, or workplace. He might be calling you to help others in a way that requires the same strength and reliability you displayed as a child. If this sign speaks to you, consider affirming your readiness with the words of Isaiah 6:8. "Here I am, Lord, send me." This simple but powerful declaration shows your willingness to embrace the gifts and training God has invested in you. When you take a step back and look at these signs collectively, you'll see a clear pattern. Number 1, you faced more obstacles than others, building resilience and perseverance. Number 2, you had prophetic dreams, revealing spiritual sensitivity and insight. Number 3, you brought comfort to others, showing a heart of compassion. Number 4, you were sensitive to dishonesty, carrying God's standard of truth. Number 5, you were trusted to lead and solve problems, preparing you for bigger tasks. These are not random traits. They are divine clues that God's hand has been on you all along. So what do you do with this realization? First, acknowledge and thank God. Take a moment to pray something like, "Lord, I see now that you've been shaping me from the start. Thank you for your guidance, even when I didn't understand it. Next, ask God how to use these gifts for His glory today. Whether it's serving your community, leading others, or simply being a source of comfort and truth, know that you are equipped for a purpose. Remember Ephesians 2:10. We are God's handiwork, created in Christ Jesus to do good works, which God prepared in advance for us to do. You were never ordinary. God has been writing a story with your life, and it began long before you realized it. Now it's time to step confidently into the next chapter. Amen. Chosen ones, imagine yourself standing at the threshold of an extraordinary journey. Before you lies an uncharted path, one you may feel uncertain about but cannot ignore. Deep within your soul, you sense a calling, a divine whisper echoing through your spirit, urging you forward. Have you felt it before? That subtle yet relentless voice that reminds you, you were made for more. It stirs within you, assuring you that every trial, every tear, every restless night has been preparing you for something far greater than you could ever imagine. This moment, this message, is no accident. If you're here, it's because God has brought you to this very place for a reason. You are chosen, handpicked by the Creator of the universe to fulfill a purpose unique to you. Even if your journey has been fraught with difficulty, know this: you were never alone. Every heartbreak, every disappointment, every unanswered question was shaping you, refining you for the destiny God has set before you. Today, let this message be your confirmation. Your breakthrough is near. The God who watches over you, the one who neither slumbers nor sleeps, is making a way through the wilderness of your life, preparing rivers to flow in your desert. For anyone who feels burdened by heartache, weighed down by discouragement, or weary from life's endless challenges, take heart, there is hope. Jesus has not forgotten you. He sees your pain, hears your cries, and understands the depths of your soul. He knows the weight you carry, the silent tears, the restless nights, and the moments when you've wondered if anyone truly sees the struggle within. But here's the truth. God doesn't just see your pain. He is working through it. Every trial, every disappointment, and every unanswered prayer is part of a larger plan. He is shaping you, strengthening you, and preparing you for a future filled with divine purpose. He who keeps Israel will neither slumber nor sleep. The Lord is your keeper. The Lord is your shade at your right hand. The same God who watched over Israel, guiding them through deserts and parting seas, is watching over you. He is your protector, your provider, and your ever-present help in times of trouble. While it may feel like He is silent, God is tirelessly working behind the scenes, aligning events, preparing breakthroughs, and orchestrating blessings that will far exceed your imagination. His love for you is unrelenting, and His plans for you are good. This January, as we step into the new year of 2025, prepare your heart and spirit for a remarkable shift. A transformation is on the horizon, one so profound that it will redefine the course of your life. God is moving in ways only He can, unlocking doors that no one can close and unveiling opportunities crafted uniquely for you. These moments are not mere coincidences. They are divine appointments orchestrated by the Creator to guide you into the fullness of your purpose. Embrace this season with faith, for it marks the beginning of something extraordinary. This is your season to rise, to step out of the shadows and into the light of God's favor. He is elevating you, setting you apart to be a beacon of hope and encouragement to those around you. Even in your struggles, He is equipping you to inspire others, to reflect His love, and to carry His light into dark places. Trust that this season is not just about enduring, but about thriving. God is about to breathe new life into your circumstances. He is turning your sorrow into joy, your ashes into beauty, and your mourning into dancing. The journey may not always be easy, but the one who keeps you never grows weary. He walks with you every step of the way, holding you steady when the road gets rough. So, take heart and stand firm in faith. Your breakthrough is near. What you've been praying for, longing for, and trusting God for is closer than you think. With God on your side, this is your time to see His promises unfold. Be ready to embrace the blessings He has prepared for you. A new season is upon you. A season of unexpected favor, unstoppable opportunities, and undeniable transformation. Let's take a moment to reflect deeply on this profound promise from Scripture. Behold, I am the Lord, the God of all flesh. Is there anything too difficult for me? Pause and consider those words. Do you believe them? Do you truly trust that the God who spoke the stars into existence, who commands the winds and waves, who has no limit to His power or wisdom, is more than able to handle the challenges you're facing? Every difficulty in your life, every mountain that seems too high to climb, is an opportunity for God to reveal His strength and demonstrate His glory. When you're weighed down by problems that seem insurmountable, remember this: nothing is too hard for God. Not the pain you've endured, not the setbacks you've experienced, not even the doubts that creep into your heart. He sees it all, and He is actively working through it to bring about something greater than you can imagine. But behold, I will do a new thing. Now it shall spring forth. Shall you not know it? I will even make a way in the wilderness and rivers in the desert. This promise from Isaiah reminds us of God's creative and restorative power. When life feels barren, like a desert with no hope in sight, God is already at work making a way. He specializes in the impossible, in turning lifeless situations into streams of abundance, in bringing light to the darkest moments. You may not see the changes immediately, but trust that God is moving in the unseen realm, aligning circumstances, preparing hearts, and setting the stage for your breakthrough. His ways often defy human understanding. He doesn't just remove obstacles, He transforms them into stepping stones for your growth and purpose. That delay you're experiencing? It might be His way of refining your character. That closed door? It could be His protection from something not meant for you. God's plans are not just good, they are perfect, designed with your ultimate blessing and His glory in mind. So trust in His timing, even when it doesn't align with your own. Rest in the assurance that He is faithful to His promises. When you feel weary, let this truth anchor your soul. God is a God who specializes in the impossible. Take heart, chosen one. Even now, He is leveling mountains and opening doors you cannot see. The wilderness you are walking through today will one day be a testimony of His power and provision. Trust Him. For the same God who created the heavens and the earth is crafting a masterpiece in your life. Hold on to faith and watch as He turns the impossible into reality. Throughout the Bible, we encounter countless examples of God's faithfulness, stories that remind us of His power, His mercy, and His unwavering commitment to those who trust Him. Let's begin with Moses, a man who doubted his ability to fulfill the extraordinary calling placed on his life. When God called Moses to lead the Israelites out of Egypt, Moses hesitated. He felt unqualified, pointing out his lack of eloquence and questioning whether he was the right person for such a monumental task. But God reassured him, saying, "I will be with you." It wasn't Moses' skill or strength that mattered. It was his willingness to obey. Through Moses' obedience, we see the might of God displayed in unimaginable ways. The parting of the Red Sea allowed an entire nation to escape slavery, walking on dry ground as their enemies were swept away. In the wilderness, God provided manna from heaven to feed His people and brought water from a rock to quench their thirst. These miracles are a testament to the truth that when we step out in faith, God shows up in ways that surpass human understanding. Like Moses, you may feel unprepared for what lies ahead, but know this: God doesn't call the qualified, He qualifies the called. Now consider Job, a man whose story demonstrates resilience and unwavering faith in the face of profound suffering. Job's life was shattered as he lost everything: his wealth, his health, and even his beloved children. Yet despite his immense grief and unanswered questions, Job held fast to his belief that God was sovereign. He declared, "Though he slay me, yet will I hope in him." Job's trust in God did not go unrewarded. After enduring his trials with steadfast faith, God restored Job's fortunes, blessing him with twice as much as he had before. His story reminds us that suffering, while painful, is never meaningless. God uses it to refine us, to strengthen our faith, and to prepare us for greater blessings. And then there's Rahab, whose story is a powerful illustration of redemption and purpose. As a woman living in Jericho, Rahab's past might have disqualified her in the eyes of others, but not in God's. When she chose to place her faith in the God of Israel, she risked her life to protect the Israelite spies, trusting that he would deliver her and her family. Not only was Rahab saved, but she was also given a place of honor in the lineage of Jesus Christ. Her life demonstrates that no one is beyond the reach of God's grace. These stories, though separated by time and circumstance, share a common truth. God is always at work, even in the most challenging moments. He transforms trials into triumphs, pain into purpose, and brokenness into beauty. Like Moses, Job, and Rahab, trust that God is with you, crafting a story of redemption and victory that will glorify Him and bless you abundantly. Prayer is one of the most profound gifts we've been given, a direct and intimate connection to the heart of God. It's through prayer that we enter into His presence, laying our burdens at His feet and inviting His peace to fill the deepest corners of our lives. In prayer, we are reminded that we are not alone. The Creator of the universe is listening to every word, every whisper, and every unspoken cry of our hearts. Rejoice always. Pray continually. Give thanks in all circumstances, for this is God's will for you in Christ Jesus. This verse calls us to live a life anchored in prayer, a life where rejoicing, constant communication with God, and gratitude in every season become second nature. When the storms of life leave us feeling lost or overwhelmed, prayer becomes the lifeline that steadies us. In the stillness of prayer, God meets us with clarity, strength, and reassurance, reminding us of His promises and His power to carry us through every challenge. Prayer isn't just about asking for help. It's about building a relationship with God. It's a sacred exchange where we pour out our hearts and, in turn, receive His guidance, wisdom, and love. It's in those quiet, intentional moments that we begin to align our desires with His will, finding peace in knowing that He is in control. Whether we are rejoicing in victory or wrestling in sorrow, prayer centers us in the truth of who God is, faithful, loving, and unchanging. But just as prayer is essential, so is community. God never intended for us to navigate life alone. From the very beginning, He designed us for connection, to share our burdens, to celebrate our joys, and to encourage one another in love and faith. And let us consider how we may spur one another on toward love and good deeds, not giving up meeting together, as some are in the habit of doing, but encouraging one another. Community is where faith grows stronger. Surround yourself with people who will uplift you, pray with you, and remind you of God's truth when your spirit feels weak. A Christ-centered community becomes a safe haven where you can find support during trials and celebration in victories. Together, you reflect the love of Jesus, inspiring one another to persevere and remain steadfast in faith. Whether it's through a church family, a small group, or a circle of faithful friends, community reminds us that we are not walking this journey alone. In times of struggle, they stand beside us in prayer. In moments of joy, they share in our triumphs. Let prayer be your anchor and community your strength, for together they create a foundation that will sustain you through life's storms. In both, God's presence is magnified, guiding you forward with hope and assurance. As you stand at the threshold of a new beginning, take a moment to reflect on where you've been and where God is calling you to go. This moment is an opportunity to release the weight of the past, the disappointments that left you weary, the regrets that linger in your heart, and even the successes that may have made you too comfortable to dream bigger. God is doing something new in your life, a work that is already unfolding, even if it isn't yet visible to you. Forget the former things, do not dwell on the past. See, I am doing a new thing. Now it springs up. Do you not perceive it? God is calling you to shift your focus from what was to what is ahead. The past has played its role. It taught you, refined you, and brought you to this very moment. But it is not where you are meant to stay. Letting go doesn't mean forgetting. It means trusting that God has something even greater in store. His promise is clear. He is making a way where there was none, carving paths in the wilderness and bringing streams of life into the deserts of your soul. Consider the story of Paul, once known as Saul, a man whose past seemed irredeemable. Saul persecuted Christians with zeal, believing he was serving God by destroying the early church. But God had a different plan for him, a purpose so profound that it would transform not only Paul's life, but the history of Christianity. On the road to Damascus, Paul encountered Jesus, and everything changed. He went from being a fierce enemy of the faith to one of its most passionate advocates, spreading the gospel across nations and writing letters that continue to inspire and guide believers today. Paul's transformation reminds us that no one is beyond the reach of God's grace. No matter your past, your mistakes, your failures, or even the labels the world has placed on you, God can and will use you for His glory if you surrender to Him. Just as God worked through Paul, Rahab, and Moses, He is working through you. Rahab, with her unlikely background, became part of the lineage of Jesus Christ. Moses, hesitant and unsure, became the leader who delivered Israel. God's plans often defy human logic, but they are always perfect. You are no different. For we are God's handiwork, created in Christ Jesus to do good works, which God prepared in advance for us to do. God has uniquely designed you for a purpose only you can fulfill. Embrace this calling with faith, trusting that He will guide your every step. Even when the path feels uncertain, trust that His hand is leading you to something far greater than you can imagine. Let go of the past and step boldly into the new thing God is doing in your life. Finally, hold on to hope. Hope is more than a fleeting feeling. It is the anchor of our souls, a steady and unshakable assurance rooted in the truth of God's promises. Hope reminds us that no matter how stormy life's seas may become, God's word stands firm, and His faithfulness endures. May the God of hope fill you with all joy and peace as you trust in Him, so that you may overflow with hope by the power of the Holy Spirit. Even in life's darkest valleys, when fear, grief, or uncertainty threaten to overwhelm you, hope whispers that God is near. He is walking with you, guiding your steps, and preparing a path that leads to something far greater than the pain you now endure. Hope anchors you, holding you steady when everything around you feels unsteady. When you trust in God, He fills your heart with joy and peace that surpass understanding. This doesn't mean life will always be easy, but it means you can walk through trials with confidence, knowing God is in control. He is writing your story, and no matter how difficult the chapter may seem, the ending is one of redemption, victory, and eternal joy. Let us end in prayer. Heavenly Father, we come before You with grateful hearts. Thank You for Your faithfulness and Your promises. As we step into this new season, we declare it a time of breakthroughs, miracles, and divine encounters. Guide our steps, open doors, and let Your blessings flow abundantly over our lives. Strengthen us to walk in faith, trusting in Your plan and purpose. In Jesus' name, we pray. Amen. If this message has touched your heart, declare your faith by commenting Amen below. Subscribe to this channel and join a community of believers committed to walking this journey together. Remember, the best is yet to come. With God by your side, there is nothing too difficult for Him to accomplish in your life. Hold on to hope, trust in His promises, and step boldly into the destiny He has prepared for you. Imagine for a moment that your soul, in its infinite wisdom, chose the exact family you were born into, not as a random act of chaos, but with the precision of a master artist. It carefully examined the tapestry of this life, the challenges that lay ahead, and said, "This is where I will grow. This is where I will awaken." And yet here you are, questioning why you were placed in a family that feels like a battlefield. Why were you raised in an environment that seemed to chip away at your spirit instead of nurturing it? I've been there. You've been there. We all know the pain, the doubt, and the anger that comes with being born into a toxic family. But let me share a profound truth. Being born into a toxic family is not a punishment. It's not some cruel twist of karma designed to haunt you. It is a gift, a monumental, life-altering, paradigm-shifting gift. I know it doesn't feel that way. Not yet. But stay with me, and together, we'll explore the hidden wisdom buried within your pain. We'll uncover the reason why your soul chose this path and how it's shaping you into something extraordinary. Toxic families are like fire. They burn, leaving deep scars that linger far beyond the moments of pain. They hurt in ways words often fail to capture. Yet fire has another purpose. It forges. It tempers steel, making it stronger, more resilient, and capable of withstanding immense pressure. In much the same way, the challenges of growing up in a toxic family forge the soul, stripping away the comforting illusions that life is always simple or fair. They force us to confront the raw, unfiltered truth of what it means to be human, to experience pain, and ultimately, to grow from it. If you've ever felt like you don't belong, as if you were dropped into a family that doesn't reflect who you are, it's not a coincidence. That feeling of being different is your soul recognizing its mission. Toxic families are, paradoxically, the perfect training ground for those destined to break generational cycles. Those who bear this unique burden are often the ones we call the chosen ones. You weren't born to live an ordinary, unremarkable life. You weren't placed here to follow in the footsteps of the dysfunction you've witnessed. Instead, you were chosen to rise above it all, to transcend the pain and transform it into something beautiful. But why? Why would your soul willingly choose such a path of hardship? The answer lies in the nature of the toxicity you were born into. It is not random. It is deeply ancestral and generational. The pain, the dysfunction, and the harmful patterns that surround you are the cumulative weight of unhealed wounds, unspoken truths, and unconscious behaviors passed down through your lineage. These cycles didn't start with your family, but they were handed to them, and now they have been handed to you. And here's where your role becomes extraordinary. You, my friend, were born to stop it. You were chosen to be the one who sees the cycle clearly, who understands its weight and pain, and who has the courage to break it once and for all. You are here to heal, not just for yourself, but for all those who came before you and all those who will come after. Let that truth settle in for a moment. You weren't born to fit in or conform. You weren't meant to live a life dictated by fear, pain, or dysfunction. You were born to stand out, to challenge the patterns that have kept generations trapped, and to create a new legacy. This is what makes you the chosen one. It's not an easy role, but it's a sacred one. Through your courage to confront and heal, you are forging a path of freedom and transformation, not just for yourself, but for your entire lineage. To break a cycle, you must first experience it. You cannot heal what you don't understand, and you cannot rise above what you haven't faced. That is why you were placed in the middle of the storm, not to drown in its chaos, but to learn how to navigate its turbulent waters. Life has a way of putting us in exactly the situations we need to grow, even if they seem unbearable at the time. The storm is your teacher, your forge, your preparation for something greater. Take a moment and think about your family. What do you see? Do you see anger simmering beneath every conversation? Neglect, where love should have been? Manipulation, disguised as care? Or control, suffocating your sense of freedom? These are painful truths, but they are truths nonetheless. Now let's take this reflection a step further. Where do you see that same energy within yourself? This is one of the hardest questions to ask because it requires brutal honesty. It's far easier to blame our families for their dysfunction than it is to see how we've internalized their behaviors. But the truth is this: toxic families don't just wound us, they mirror us. They reflect back the parts of ourselves we are too afraid to face, the anger we suppress, the need for control we deny, the neglect we inflict upon ourselves by ignoring our own needs. And this is why, as painful as it is, your family is a gift. Their dysfunction is a mirror, giving you a chance to see yourself with raw, unflinching clarity. This doesn't mean their behavior is justified or excusable. It means it has a purpose. Within the fire of their dysfunction lies an unparalleled opportunity, not only to heal yourself but to transform yourself. As you begin to confront the wounds and patterns you've inherited, something extraordinary happens. You start to shift, to release what no longer serves you. And with every step you take toward healing, you transform not just yourself but the entire lineage from which you came. By breaking the cycle, you don't just end the pain for yourself. You end it for those who came before you and for those who will come after. So, as hard as it may be, look at your family with new eyes. See the storm not as a punishment, but as preparation. See the pain not as something to resent, but as a challenge to rise above. The storm is not here to destroy you. It is here to show you your strength. The mirror they hold up is not meant to shame you. It is meant to awaken you. And as you heal, you become the catalyst for an entirely new story, one where the cycles of pain are broken and replaced with cycles of love, growth, and freedom. Let's be clear. This journey is not easy. Being born into a toxic family is one of the hardest paths a soul can choose. It demands a level of resilience, courage, and inner strength that many never imagine they possess. It requires you to confront rejection from the very people who were meant to embrace you, betrayal from those who were supposed to protect you, and sometimes even the heartbreak of abandonment. It's a path fraught with challenges that test every fiber of your being. But here's the profound truth. While this path is painful, it is also transformative. The shift begins when you realize that your family's toxicity is not a reflection of your worth. It's a reflection of their pain. The anger, manipulation, and neglect you've experienced are not about you. They stem from their unhealed wounds, their fears, and their limitations. Once you see this clearly, the burden begins to lift. Every time you choose love over hate, understanding over judgment, and compassion over anger, you are breaking the cycle. You are dismantling patterns that have persisted for generations, rewriting the story not just for yourself, but for your entire lineage. Each act of grace, no matter how small, is a powerful act of defiance against the toxicity that has sought to define you. Imagine for a moment, what would happen if you stopped fighting your family? What if, instead of resisting their dysfunction, you started to see them as your greatest teachers? This doesn't mean excusing their behavior or denying your pain. It means shifting your perspective to see the lessons hidden within the chaos. What are they teaching you about boundaries, about self-worth, about the power of choosing differently? This is where true transformation begins, not by running from the pain or pretending it doesn't exist, but by embracing it as a catalyst for growth. The wounds you carry from your family hold valuable lessons. They teach you resilience, the strength to stand firm in your truth, and the ability to love yourself even when others cannot. They challenge you to rise above the patterns you've inherited and to forge a new path defined by healing and wholeness. When you stop seeing your family as the source of your suffering and start recognizing them as the crucible through which your strength is forged, everything changes. Their actions, as hurtful as they may be, become an opportunity for you to define who you truly are. The rejection teaches you self-acceptance. The betrayal teaches you trust in yourself. The abandonment pushes you toward independence and self-reliance. Transformation doesn't come from denying the pain, but from embracing its lessons. When you lean into this truth, you step into your power. You begin to see the toxic environment not as a curse, but as the fertile ground where your resilience, compassion, and courage have taken root. And from there, you can grow into the person you were always meant to be, the one who breaks the cycle and brings light to the shadows of your lineage. Pain, especially the kind born from family, is a unique kind of hurt. It cuts deeply because it comes from the people who were supposed to nurture and protect us. But here's the thing: pain cannot be outrun. No matter how far you go, it travels with you, quietly settling into the corners of your heart and mind. Family wounds, whether they stem from criticism, neglect, control, or conditional love, shape who we are. They influence how we see the world, how we see others, and most profoundly, how we see ourselves. These wounds hurt deeply, but they also hold the key to our awakening. They are not just marks of what we've endured. They are lessons waiting to be uncovered. Every wound carries a truth. Every scar tells a story. And every moment of pain holds within it the potential for growth and transformation. Take a moment and think about the pain your family caused you. What emotions come to the surface? Anger, perhaps, at the unfairness of it all? Resentment at the betrayal of trust? Sadness at the love you needed but didn't receive? Maybe it's a mix of all three. Now pause and ask yourself a deeper question. What are those emotions teaching you about yourself? Anger might be pointing to your need for boundaries, showing you where your soul refuses to be mistreated anymore. Resentment may reveal the places where you've sacrificed too much of yourself to please others. Sadness might be highlighting the depth of love and connection you truly desire, a longing that's worth honoring and pursuing. The healing process begins when you realize a profound truth. The pain inflicted on you was never really about you. It was about them, your family's unhealed wounds, their fears, and their limitations. Their criticism, neglect, or control didn't reflect your value. It reflected their struggles. But somewhere along the way, you internalized it. You began to believe that their pain was a measure of your worth, that their inability to love you unconditionally meant you were somehow unlovable. This is where your true work begins. It starts with separating yourself from the stories your family wrote for you. The lies that say you're not enough, that you have to earn love, or that your voice doesn't matter. Healing means reclaiming your identity, peeling back the layers of their projections, and rediscovering who you are at your core. This journey isn't easy. It requires you to face the pain head-on, to grieve what you've lost, and to release the beliefs that no longer serve you. But as you do, something incredible happens. You begin to see the wounds not as defining scars, but as the fertile soil for your growth. You learn that your value was never tied to their actions, that their inability to love you as you deserved says nothing about your worth. Healing is the process of coming home to yourself, of reclaiming your power, and of rewriting your story. It's about transforming the pain of your past into the strength and wisdom of your future. And it all begins with the decision to face the pain, to learn its lessons, and to step boldly into the truth of who you really are. Healing isn't about fixing yourself. It's not about becoming something new or striving to be someone you're not. Instead, healing is about remembering who you were before the wounds, before the world's pain, judgments, and expectations left their marks on your heart. It's a process of peeling back the layers of conditioning, unlearning the stories you were told about your worth, and reconnecting with the essence of who you are. Beneath the hurt and the scars, your true self has always been there, waiting to be rediscovered. But true healing requires three essential things: self-love, self-compassion, and self-discipline. Self-love is the foundation of it all. It's the radical act of choosing yourself, even when others don't. It's recognizing that your worth isn't tied to anyone else's approval, affection, or validation. Self-love is about honoring your needs, protecting your boundaries, and affirming that you are enough exactly as you are. It's not selfish, it's essential. Without it, healing cannot truly begin. Self-compassion is the gentle voice that walks with you on this journey. It's the part of you that says, it's okay to feel hurt. It's okay to stumble. It's okay to not have all the answers right now. Healing isn't linear, and self-compassion gives you the grace to be human, to feel deeply, and to grow at your own pace. It's a reminder that you don't have to be perfect to be worthy of love and understanding, especially from yourself. Self-discipline is the commitment to show up for yourself every day, even when it's hard. Healing is not always comfortable. There will be days when old patterns resurface, when the pain feels heavier than usual, or when progress feels slow. But self-discipline is what keeps you moving forward. It's the choice to prioritize your well-being, to create habits that nurture your soul, and to take small but steady steps toward the life you deserve. Now let me ask you, what would your life look like if you lived as though you were truly worthy of love and happiness? Imagine waking up each day with the unshakable belief that you deserve kindness, joy, and peace. Not because of what you achieve or prove, but simply because you exist. What choices would you make? Would you set stronger boundaries? Let go of toxic relationships? Pursue your passions without fear of judgment? Living as though you are worthy isn't just a dream, it's a decision. It's choosing to align your actions with the truth of your value. It's letting go of the fear that holds you back and embracing the freedom to be unapologetically yourself. And as you do, you'll find that healing becomes less about overcoming the past and more about stepping fully into the life you were always meant to live. Breaking free isn't about cutting ties or abandoning your family entirely, though for some, that may be necessary for healing. Instead, breaking free is about something far deeper. It's about detaching from their energy, their expectations, and the narratives they've woven around your identity. It's about reclaiming your sense of self and loving them, not out of obligation or guilt, but from a place of wholeness and inner peace. True freedom isn't found in physical distance, though that can sometimes help. It's found in emotional liberation. It's in realizing that you no longer have to carry the weight of their opinions, their pain, or their projections. Freedom means recognizing that their actions, whether they were neglectful, controlling, or critical, do not define your worth. Their inability to show love in the way you deserved says nothing about your lovability. Detaching doesn't mean you stop caring about them. It means you stop letting their dysfunction dictate your life. You release the patterns and beliefs you've unconsciously inherited, the ones that tell you to stay small, to prioritize their needs over your own, or to live a life that satisfies their expectations instead of your own truth. When you break free, you allow yourself to see your family for who they are. Flawed, wounded individuals doing the best they can with the tools they have. This doesn't excuse their behavior, but it helps you understand it. From that place of understanding, you can choose how to engage with them in ways that honor your boundaries and protect your peace. When you heal, your transformation doesn't end with you. Healing is never a solitary act. It reverberates through time, creating a ripple effect that touches not only your life, but the lives of those who came before you and those who will come after. Your decision to confront and release the pain you've inherited is an act of profound courage, and its impact is far greater than you may realize. By choosing to heal, you break the chains of generational patterns that have kept your lineage trapped in cycles of pain, dysfunction, and unhealed wounds. You disrupt the flow of inherited trauma, paving the way for future generations to live with greater freedom, love, and self-awareness. And while the past cannot be changed, your healing shifts its energy. When you heal yourself, you honor your ancestors by showing that transformation is possible, even when they couldn't achieve it themselves. But healing doesn't mean fixing your family. You are not responsible for mending their wounds or solving their problems. Your greatest act of love isn't in trying to save them. It's in becoming the fullest, freest version of yourself. By stepping into your own power, you create a living example of what is possible. Your healing plants seeds of change in your family, even if you don't see immediate results. Sometimes those seeds take time to grow, and sometimes they bloom in ways you never anticipated. But your growth, your light, and your liberation inspire others in ways that words cannot. What if the greatest gift you could give your family is the permission to heal themselves by witnessing your journey? What if your transformation becomes their awakening? That's the power of your healing. It's not just for you, it's for everyone. Your family's toxicity is not your destiny, it's your training ground. It's the fire that forges you into someone stronger, wiser, and more resilient than you ever thought possible. Each time you rise above the pain, every time you choose to heal rather than perpetuate the cycle, you fulfill your purpose as a chosen one. Your journey is not accidental, it's deeply intentional. You were not born into a toxic family by mistake. You were born into it because you are strong enough to transcend its challenges, wise enough to extract its lessons, and brave enough to transform its pain into purpose. The circumstances you faced were not meant to break you, but to shape you into the person you are meant to be. A cycle breaker, a healer, and a beacon of light for others. So, let me leave you with this question. If you fully embraced your role as a chosen one, if you stepped fully into your power, what kind of life would you create? What would your days look like if you believed, without a shadow of a doubt, that you are worthy of love, joy, and freedom? Remember, your healing is not just for you. It is your gift to the world. Every time you shine your light, you transform the darkness, not only for yourself, but for everyone around you. You are rewriting your destiny, and in doing so, you're paving the way for others to do the same. Thank you for allowing me to share this journey with you. If this message resonated with you, please consider subscribing to our channel for more inspiring content. Together, let's continue to explore, heal, and grow as we step into the fullness of who we are meant to be. Your light matters. Never forget that.